After a long while, Lynn Ran finally regained his freedom. Luo Yao sat quietly beside Lynn Ran like a child who had done something wrong. Ran, I'm sorry. I didn't want to be like this. Luo Yao felt terrible, and her heart ached for him. She would be utterly ruthless towards her enemies, but for Lynn Ran, she only wanted to offer gentleness. Yet, she didn't understand what was wrong with her. She clearly loved Lynn Ran to death, but sometimes she couldn't help doing things that hurt him. Every time her heart grew frantic because of Lynn Ran, she couldn't resist the urge to grab him, to hurt him. If she didn't punish Lynn Ran, then she would go to the secret room. She didn't want to go to the secret room because Lynn Ran didn't like her hurting herself, but she also didn't want to hurt Lynn Ran. The stronger the feeling of conflict, the more extreme her behavior became. Sometimes she even wondered if she was going crazy. Lynn Ran, do you remember the question you asked me when I woke up just now? So don't say sorry. No matter what you did, I don't blame you, because we are husband and wife. Luo Yao shook her head, but I don't feel good. Luo Yao felt bad because she had made a mistake, but the inexplicable anger she had initially felt had indeed disappeared. Now, she was more worried that Lynn Ran would be scared and run away from her. She wanted to be good to Lynn Ran, but she was afraid he would run. Doing such things was her idea, yet it wasn't. No one would understand this chaotic emotion born from insecurity. Her head really hurt. Lynn Ran, actually, I know what you're thinking. Don't worry, I won't be scared, and I won't run away. I just want to be with you forever, to spend my life building a safe house for your heart. Luo Yao looked at Lynn Ran in disbelief. Every word Lynn Ran said seemed to speak directly to her heart. So he understands me. Luo Yao generously handed over the item in her hand. Here, Lynn Ran. Luo Yao, it's for you. Lynn Ran's eyes lit up, and he immediately sat up. Regardless of whether it was forced or voluntary, he had indeed suffered a lot in his past and present lives. Wasn't this a perfectly legitimate chance for revenge? Lynn Ran gripped the little cutie, raised his hand. Luo Yao lifted her head and looked straight at him, unblinking, with no intention of dodging. As long as Ran liked it, as long as he didn't blame her, he could hit or scold her as he pleased. Lynn Ran's hand hesitated, not coming down. Looking into Luo Yao's eyes, he ultimately couldn't bring himself to do it. In this aspect, Lynn Ran admitted he was inferior to Luo Yao. Luo Yao loved him more than he loved Luo Yao, or at least that's what he thought. But Luo Yao could still bring herself to do it. This was where this woman was more formidable than him. I love you, and I hit you. For her, there truly was no conflict. Forget it. A good man doesn't fight with a woman. The starlight in Luo Yao's eyes brightened. Ran is unable to bear it. Lynn Ran nodded, admitting frankly, I love you too much. I can't bring myself to do it. Too much love? Luo Yao murmured these words in her heart, feeling as if something had struck her. You can do it gently. Even gently. I can't bear to. Luo Yao's eyes gradually became hazy. In that case, let's change the punishment for now. Lynn Ran, what punishment? MMPH. Luo Yao began her unrestrained dance. Lynn Ran tried to turn over several times, but failed. How could this little vixen be so strong? He, a grown man of 1.85 meters, could only be suppressed by a woman less than 1.7 meters tall. It was simply outrageous. Who was the man here? After a long time, Luo Yao's cry announced the perfect conclusion of this performance. Lynn Ran, when did your visitor finally leave? Luo Yao, probably last night. After his breathing evened out, Lynn Ran pulled Luo Yao into his arms. Is this what you call punishing you? Is this punishment? Luo Yao looked up, asking innocently, what else? Lynn Ran said indignantly, unfair. This is basically a reward. I want a different punishment. Luo Yao thought about it. It indeed didn't seem like a punishment. All right, then you name it. Lynn Ran raised an eyebrow. Are you serious? Luo Yao, serious. Lynn Ran gave a meaningful smile and asked, do you have that black something for me to appreciate? Luo Yao shook her head. Just as Lynn Ran looked disappointed, Luo Yao directly took out her phone. Lu Meng, who received the call, her pupils quaked. Lynn Ran looked at Luo Yao, completely stunned. Damn, girl, you're this bold? Lu Meng, receiving the call in the middle of the night, was stunned, shocked, and excited. All sleepiness gone. So President Luo was into such kinky stuff? Without a second word, she had someone prepare it. Before long, Lu Meng personally drove to the manor and handed the items to Luo Yao herself. This concerned President Luo's privacy. She couldn't let others know. She hated gossipers the most. President Luo, the things you wanted. Are you in such a hurry this late at night? Luo Yao glanced at Lu Meng coldly. Yes, Ran is eager to see. With that, she returned to the villa, leaving Lu Meng at the door, utterly shocked. It seemed he really was a bit eager. President Luo doted on young Master Lin to this extent. Young Master Lin wanted to see, so she made her a mere worker get these things in the middle of the night. Wanting so many pieces at once, and in various colors, one could guess what it was for. Young Master Lin is so lucky. I can't share, I can't tell anyone. It's torture, absolute torture. In the villa bedroom, Luo Yao sat on the bed. Do you like it? It's beautiful. I love looking at it. Lynn Ran sighed internally. No wonder so many people liked it. It really wasn't just about beauty. There was also that heart-fluttering feeling. Luo Yao herself was also a domineering female CEO, which gave Lynn Ran an even greater sense of conquest. Soon, the room was in delightful disarray. Yao, let me. Luo Yao nodded obediently. Hubby can decide everything. A few words tugged at Lynn Ran's heartstrings. Lynn Ran felt that even if he died, tonight would have been worth it. After they finished, Luo Yao still wasn't sleepy, clinging to Lynn Ran, her breath fragrant like orchids. Ran, did you like it? He placed a finger on Luo Yao's lips. Sure. Woman, I warn you, don't seduce me. I graduated high school a long time ago. I've completely forgotten all my refinement. I'm terrifyingly lewd now. Luo Yao so. Lynn Ran. He was floored. Lust is a blade above the head. It's hard to escape a woman's allure, like a bone-scraping steel knife, striking the waist again and again. Woke up early, opened the window, feeling wonderful. At the dining table, Lynn Ran sat beside Luo Yao and whispered, Wifey, I still think we should exercise some restraint. I'm only human, after all. Luo Yao. Then I'll have Lu Meng throw away the things she prepared. Outside the villa, Lu Meng, waiting for Luo Yao, had her eyes closed, resting. She had tossed and turned all night, unable to sleep, and now had dark circles under her eyes. She opened her eyes, checked the time. It was already past the hour, so she knocked to inquire. Just as she followed Butler Fu Bo into the dining room, she heard Luo Yao's words and had a look of complete confusion. Did President Luo ask me to prepare something? No way. The little glint of gossip flashed in her eyes again. She had followed Luo Yao for many years, growing from a small assistant by her side to her right-hand woman. Naturally, she understood Luo Yao. But it was precisely because she understood that she was shocked by Luo Yao's current transformation. So this is the kind of President Luo you are. Young Master Lin is so lucky. Do you really deserve our President Luo, the best in the world? Sigh. He's just a bit handsome, that's all. Haven't noticed anything else special about him. Lynn Ran. There's more stuff. Wait, that. Wasting is shameful, and littering is even worse. Luo Yao smiled and leaned forward. Ran, I think I've discovered some ways to control you. Lynn Ran. It should be said that I'm willing. Is that so? Yes, it is. You have to be a good boy today, okay? Lynn Ran nodded obediently. In his heart, he thought that he absolutely had to deal with Lu Rushua now. Otherwise, it would always be a thorn in Luo Yao's heart. Luo Yao straightened her clothes and left with Lu Meng. As soon as she got in the car, she said, Don't forget to prepare the things I mentioned. Lu Meng, President Luo, are you serious? Although I'm your assistant, I can't do this kind of thing for you. Okay, President Luo, what galaxy did Lynn Ran save in his previous life? Luo Yao, prepare more. Lu Meng. Luo Yao, if our Ran isn't satisfied, you don't have to come to work anymore. Lu Meng's pupils quaked. What? President Luo, do you even hear what you're saying? Lynn Ran, back in the villa, decided not to go to school and called Wu Zhishang to cover for him. After another nap, his legs finally didn't feel so weak. Well rested, Lynn Ran thought it was time to officially deal with the enemies from his previous life. First step, let them experience true torment. Lin family, Lu Rushua, accept the devil's judgment. After making his plan, he contacted Wu Zhishang. Do you know Brother Dao? Wu Zhishang jumped. As a local, how could he not know Brother Dao? On the other end of the line, Wu Zhishang broke out in a cold sweat. Of course I know him. Brother Lin, what do you mean? Did you offend him? Lin Ran, no. Wu Zhishang, that's good. If you offend Brother Dao, it'll be troublesome. Lin Ran said confidently. It's okay. Even if I did offend him, he'd have to make way for me. Who asked my wife to be so powerful? Wu Zhishang, Brother Lin, I've noticed you're getting better and better at bragging lately. Lin Ran couldn't be bothered with nonsense. Listen, help me contact Brother Dao. Tell him I have a business deal to discuss with him. There was silence on the other end for a moment before a response. Bro, are you serious? What on earth are you trying to do? Discussing business with Brother Dao? Isn't that like dancing on the edge of the criminal law? Lynn Ran, just tell me if you'll help or not. If Wu Zhishang didn't help, Lynn Ran was prepared to ask Luo Yao for help. The reason he didn't go directly to Luo Yao was that he didn't want her to know what he was doing yet. He was afraid she would worry. Wu Zhishang, all right, I'll help you contact him. I have a scumbag cousin who works under Brother Dao. Lynn Ran, great, thanks, brother. After hanging up, Lynn Ran's eyes welled up. Of course, Lynn Ran knew Wu Zhishang's cousin worked for Brother Dao. Otherwise, he wouldn't have approached him directly. In his previous life, after his death, Wu Zhishang was the first to know, even before Luo Yao. Because when he was pushed off the rooftop, Wu Zhishang was waiting downstairs for him. That day, it was Wu Zhishang who had risked helping Lin Ran escape from the manor. Wu Zhishang couldn't believe what had happened. He called the police, but Lin Jian, Lu Ruxue, and Lu Yuemei claimed Lin Ran had accidentally fallen. Coupled with Lin Tianba's behind-the-scenes maneuvering, the three weren't even investigated. Wu Zhishang broke down. He hated his own incompetence and, even more, regretted bringing Lin Ran out. He finally understood, then, that perhaps letting Lin Ran be that young lady's golden canary wouldn't have been a bad choice. At least he wouldn't have died. After the grief, he thought of revenge and contacted his cousin. Upon hearing about it, his cousin, without a second word, borrowed men from Brother Dao, and Brother Dao generously lent them. Unfortunately, at that time, one of his cousin's underlings happened to know Lin Jian and sold the information to Lin Jian for 100,000 yuan. Lin Jian had that underling get Wu Zhishang drunk and had someone incite Wu Zhishang to go seek revenge immediately. Grief-stricken, Wu Zhishang had no defenses. After drinking, he got straight into a car to go to the Lin family for revenge, but he didn't know the car had been tampered with. Wu Zhishang drove drunk, crashed the car, and both his legs were crippled. From then on, he could only live in a wheelchair. At that time, Lin Ran, as a soul, desperately wanted to stop it, but he could do nothing. In fact, less than an hour after Wu Zhishang's car accident, Luo Yao had already had people apprehend the entire Lin family. It was all as if arranged by fate, always with cruel twists that made the undeserving suffer the consequences. Wu Zhishang, a brother for life. In the afternoon, Lin Ran, having received the news, finally went out. The capital, Jingdu, was incredibly prosperous, but behind the prosperity lay hidden gray industries. An area of unfinished buildings, perhaps not as simple as it appeared on the surface. You're Lin Ran. Wei Xiong was inwardly surprised when he saw the car Lin Ran was driving. He hadn't expected his cousin to have such an incredibly wealthy classmate. Lin Ran nodded. Hello, my name is Lin Ran. Lin Ran didn't dislike people like Wei Xiong, or rather, in this life, he didn't. Everyone has their own life, and he didn't blame Wei Xiong for the events of his previous life. Wei Xiong hadn't even known he had a traitor among his subordinates. Besides, he wasn't exactly a good person now, either. The innocence he once had would definitely not reappear in this life. Wei Xiong didn't dare to be disrespectful and quickly shook his hand. Hello, I'm Wu Zhishang's cousin, Wei Xiong. I'll take you to see Brother Dao. Following Wei Xiong into the unfinished building, the two entered an elevator in a very hidden spot. Lin Ran marveled at the wonders of this world. Who would have thought that beneath such a dilapidated place, there was a splendid, gold-sucking establishment? Lin Ran followed Wei Xiong directly to the third basement level. Stepping out of the elevator, there was a ring enclosed by an iron cage. Lin Ran, even if he hadn't eaten pork, had seen pigs run. He knew this was an underground boxing ring. The ceiling height on this level was very high, and the design was quite ingenious. Lin Ran followed Wei Xiong to a private room on the second floor of this level, which directly faced the ring and offered the best viewing angle. In the private room, Lin Ran saw the number 1 figure in Kyoto's Underworld, known in the Jianghu as Knife. Brother Dao was around 40. True to his name, a knife scar ran diagonally across his entire face, from his skull down to his chin. To have survived such a severe injury, he was truly a man of great fortune. Wei Xiong had served time in prison with Brother Dao, so Brother Dao held him in high regard. He walked confidently to one side of the sofa in the private room. Brother Dao, I brought the person. This is him, Lin Ran, my cousin's classmate. Lin Ran nodded at Brother Dao. Brother Dao sized Lin Ran up. A young man, probably looking for me to deal with someone. Another look. Judging by his clothes and appearance, he must be a rich second-generation heir from a wealthy family. One more look, and his eyes widened instantly. He nearly fell to the ground. Holy shit, isn't this Boss Luo's man? What's he doing here? So, it's young Master Lin. Please have a seat. Lin Ran was surprised by Brother Dao's attitude. Thinking to himself, This number one figure in Kyoto's underworld has quite a good temper. Sitting opposite Brother Dao personally pushed a freshly brewed cup of Longjing tea in front of Lynn Ran. This scene made the surrounding underlings' eyes widen. Brother Dao's attitude towards this young man was surprisingly good. Lynn Ran took a shallow sip and praised, "Not bad. Thank you for your hospitality, Brother Dao." Brother Dao was also very polite, without any airs of a big boss. "I wonder what business young Master Lin wishes to discuss." Lynn Ran handed over the IOU he was holding. Brother Dao took it doubtfully, looked at it, then looked up and asked, "Young Master Lin, are you asking me to help you collect a debt? Then you've come to the right person. We're very professional at this." He naturally wouldn't disdain Lynn Ran's $1 million IOU as too small. Even a mosquito leg is meat. According to Jianghu rules, collecting a debt comes with a 20% service fee. Lynn Ran held up a finger and wagged it. "There's a big deal. If Brother Dao does it, you can make a fortune, and it's not illegal. As for this IOU, consider it a token of friendship with Brother Dao. If you can collect it, use the money to treat the brothers to drinks." Brother Dao looked at Lynn Ran in surprise. As far as he knew, this Lynn Ran was still a student. Yet, facing him, Lynn Ran was neither servile nor overbearing, and there was nothing unnatural about his demeanor, which was truly surprising. Most importantly, he was willing to give him this IOU. In someone else's hands, this piece of paper might not necessarily turn into money, but in his hands, it definitely would. This made Lynn Ran seem very bold and generous. Besides, he was Boss Luo's man. Even without the IOU, he couldn't afford not to befriend him. After a moment of silence, "Brother Lin, I'll take you as my brother, and I'll take on your job. As for whether it's illegal, that's our business. Even if something goes wrong in the end, it will have nothing to do with you." Saying this, he reached out and shook Lynn Ran's hand. Lynn Ran hadn't expected it to go so smoothly. Brother Dao thought to himself, "How could it not go smoothly? You're the real boss here. If I dare to make things difficult for you, I might be soaking in the sea tomorrow, and maybe some shark in the ocean would have a feast tonight." Lynn Ran wouldn't completely trust Brother Dao. After all, he was someone from the gray area. How many good people could there be? Terms like brother were just pleasantries for them. His only true brother was Wu Zhishang. However, for now, Brother Dao would definitely be willing to cooperate. After all, for them, nothing was more attractive than money. Lynn Ran glanced at the few underlings beside Brother Dao. Brother Dao smartly cleared the room. Now, only Brother Dao and Lynn Ran were left inside. Only then did Lynn Ran talk about what would soon happen to the Lin family. Brother Dao listened. "Well, I'll be damned. It really isn't very illegal, and it could make a huge profit. But isn't young Master Lin a member of the Lin family? Why is he so ruthless towards them?" Forget it. These weren't things he should be considering, much less daring to think too deeply about. Perhaps it was all instructed by Boss Luo. Maybe Lynn Ran's appearance today was even a test from Boss Luo. Thinking of this, he dared not be disrespectful and readily agreed to Lynn Ran's request. In fact, even if Lynn Ran hadn't come to him, he would have done the same if he had gotten the news. But this was orchestrated by Lynn Ran behind the scenes. Ultimately, Lynn Ran had given him this opportunity, so he still felt favorably towards Lynn Ran and invited him upstairs for a look. Lynn Ran didn't refuse. He was also very curious about this place. The entire underground entertainment city was currently empty because it was daytime. Arriving on the second floor, Lynn Ran was instantly stunned by the sight before him. This was simply a huge gold-squandering den. A casino like those only seen in movies and TV shows appeared right here, live and in person. However, it was still daytime, and only a dozen or so people were crowded around a single card table playing. "Brother Dao, Brother Lin, want to play a couple of hands? If you lose, it's on me." Lynn Ran shook his head. "I am irreconcilably opposed to gambling and drugs." Brother Dao, "Thought so you conveniently leave out yellow, vice/prostitution, huh?" Seeing Lynn Ran had no intention of playing, Brother Dao just smiled and said nothing. Just then, over at the card table, a man was suddenly kicked to the ground. "Damn it, I told you I don't do that stuff. You keep asking again and again. Are you looking to die?" Hearing this, the entire casino instantly went silent, as if muted. Brother Dao's face turned incredibly grim. Everyone knew that Brother Dao's establishment had vice and gambling, but absolutely no drugs. No one knew why a triad boss would ban drugs, but those were the rules. Brother Dao glanced at Wei Xiong and said coldly, "If I recall correctly, that's your subordinate, isn't he?" Wei Xiong didn't dare to make excuses and quickly shook his head. "Yes, Brother Dao. His name is Zhang Dehai. I will definitely give you a satisfactory answer." Saying this, he walked over, yanked Zhang Dehai up, and snatched the goods from Zhang Dehai's hand. Damn it! Have you eaten a bear's heart and a leopard's gall? How dare you sell this stuff here? Lynn Ran narrowed his eyes. If he wasn't mistaken, this was the traitor from his previous life. It was he who had sold information to Lin Jian. Zhang Dehai knew how formidable Wei Xiong was. Although Wei Xiong usually seemed amiable, he was ruthless when truly angered. He also knew Wei Xiong's weakness was his sentimentality and loyalty, so he quickly started wailing. Brother Xiong, I was wrong, Brother Xiong. My wife is in the hospital, and my son has disappeared, abandoning us. I had no choice. I had to take this risk to make some quick money for my wife's medical bills. My daughter just started university, and I haven't gathered her tuition fees yet. Please, spare me this once. I know we can't sell this stuff in our establishment, but I truly had no other way. Stop. Wei Xiong was taken aback. Indeed, he was actually fooled. Brother Dao, an old hand in the Jianghu, saw through the man at a glance. Xiangzi, rules are rules. I don't want to say it a second time. With someone like this under you, he'll bring you harm sooner or later. Wei Xiong pursed his lips, unsure if he wanted to plead for leniency. Lin Ran realized that Wei Xiong might not be cut out for this path. Brother Dao wasn't wrong. As it turned out, this Zhang Dehai did indeed become a traitor in the end. Lin Ran recalled Wu Zhishang's fate in his previous life, and a sudden, inexplicable rage flared within him, but he suppressed it. Lin Ran looked around, picked up a club, and silently handed it to Brother Dao. Brother Dao was momentarily stunned, then smiled and took it. He then walked over step by step and handed the club to Wei Xiong. Xiangzi, do it. Wei Xiong closed his eyes, then snapped them open, a glint flashing within them. He grabbed the club and smashed it directly onto Zhang Dehai's legs, shouting as he struck, "How many times have I told you not to sell this stuff? You fucking ignore my words, didn't you?" Zhang Dehai's screams echoed throughout the casino, but no one showed any sympathy. This Zhang Dehai indulged in all 5 vices: eating, drinking, whoring, gambling, and smoking drugs, and dared to deal drugs in Brother Dao's territory. Even if he were beaten to death, he would deserve it. Zhang Dehai's legs were broken by Wei Xiong, and he fainted from the pain. Wei Xiong waved his hand, and someone carried him out. Brother Dao patted Lin Ran's shoulder. "Sorry to have made a fool of myself in front of you, brother." Lin Ran thought, this really is karmic retribution. In this life, the one whose legs were broken is Zhang Dehai. But why did Zhang Dehai get caught by Brother Dao at this particular time? Was it a chain reaction from his own appearance here? In his previous life, he hadn't come here at this time, and Zhang Dehai's legs weren't broken. For the first time, Lin Ran began to ponder the strange concept of fate. He shook his head. He broke Brother Dao's rules. This is what he deserves. Brother Dao looked at Lin Ran in surprise. He once again confirmed that this Lin Ran was no ordinary person. Otherwise, Boss Luo wouldn't have taken a fancy to him. Brother Dao nodded in approval and said to the casino guests, "Everyone, sorry for the fright. Each of you will receive 10 chips to calm your nerves. However, I must remind you all again, drugs are not allowed in my establishment. Anyone caught will not be let off lightly." None of the gamblers cared about Zhang Dehai's fate. They all happily agreed with Brother Dao. After all, 10 chips were free. When Brother Dao finished handling matters and returned to Lin Ran's side, Lin Ran said something that nearly scared the soul out of him. "Lin Ran, what's on the first floor? Shall we go take a look?" A chill ran down Brother Dao's spine. He shook his head. "The first floor isn't open for business yet. I'll take you to see it next time, brother." He wouldn't dare take Lin Ran to the first floor. If Lin Ran made a mistake there, he would be finished too. Lin Ran was purely curious. Since Brother Dao didn't want to take him up, he didn't insist and decided to take his leave. Although Brother Dao enthusiastically invited him to dinner, Lin Ran found an excuse and left. Leaving the underground entertainment city, Lin Ran drove back to the manor. He wanted to get back before Luo Yao came home, so she would see him the moment she returned. On the way, he also called Su Kai and told him to start the operation. Returning to the manor villa and slowly opening the main door, he saw a frosty Luo Yao sitting on the sofa. "Back so early today?" Luo Yao didn't answer Lin Ran's question, but retorted coldly, "What were you doing today?" Lin Ran was taken aback, wondering how to answer. He didn't want to worry Luo Yao, nor did he want to lie to her. "I want to take care of some business." Luo Yao narrowed her eyes. She already knew what Lin Ran had done that afternoon and could vaguely guess his next move. Brother Dao had just reported today's events to Luo Yao. Luo Yao had coldly told Brother Dao, "Don't take Lin Ran to that kind of place again." Luo Yao had coldly told Brother Dao, "Don't take Lin Ran to that kind of place again." Brother Dao was miserable inside. Lynn Ran had come to him on his own initiative. But what could he do? He didn't dare say anything and could only meekly agree. Luo Yao, tell the truth. Lynn Ran, all right. Actually, I'm going to deal with Lu Rushue and the Lin family. I went out today for this matter. Luo Yao, are you really willing to do it? Lynn Ran, wife, I am truly willing, very willing. I wish they would all suffer endless torture and die without a burial place. Luo Yao's eyes were profound. She looked at Lynn Ran for a long time before saying, if you need help, you must tell me. Lynn Ran nodded. He didn't want Luo Yao's help for now. He was happy to take revenge personally. If I encounter something I can't solve, I'll definitely ask you to clean up my mess. Who asked you to keep me? If you keep me, you have to clean up my messes. Ahem. Old butler Fu Bo coughed lightly. Young Master Lin, do you even hear what you're saying? Luo Yao retracted her imposing aura and rose to Lynn Ran's side. It's best that you think this way. With my abilities, I can raise you to be the world's #1 profligate son. Fu Bo thought to himself, Miss, must you be so love-struck? During the warm dinner, Luo Yao frequently glanced at Lynn Ran, who was feeding her. Looking at Luo Yao's teasing, half-smiling eyes, Lynn Ran remembered the mouthful of wine Luo Yao had fed him and still felt a lingering fear. Fortunately, the feeding session ended smoothly, and Lynn Ran himself ate to his heart's content. Luo Yao once again walked behind Lynn Ran and extended her arms from both sides of his neck, like a seductive enchantress. This familiar gesture made Lynn Ran's whole body stiffen. Luo Yao leaned close to Lynn Ran's ear and whispered, Aaron, come with me. Lynn Ran breathed a sigh of relief, then, with a puzzled expression, followed Luo Yao to the bedroom. And then he turned to stone. Or are all these things on the bed? No, wait, just for this item, you prepared it in 7 colors. Red, orange, yellow, green, cyan, blue, and purple. And what's that? A dog leash? Lynn Ran shivered all over. He couldn't imagine how shameful it would be if all these things were used on him. He stiffly turned his head. Wife, I didn't do anything wrong today, did I? Luo Yao blinked her innocent-looking eyes. No, these are all things I prepared for you, Aaron. Aaron likes these things, so I bought them all. Don't you like them? Lynn Ran, I like them. Damn, are they getting this kinky now? Luo Yao pulled Lynn Ran into the bathroom, but Lynn Ran was preoccupied. Back in the room, Lynn Ran's gaze started to waver. But things exceeded Lynn Ran's imagination. So that's how it was? Looking at the perfect Luo Yao, Lynn Ran was completely stunned. Suddenly, he felt a warmth in his nose. Nosebleed dripped onto the floor. Nosebleed dripped onto the floor. Lynn Ran quickly covered his nose and rushed to the bathroom. Damn it, where did this girl learn all this? Isn't this purely tempting someone to commit a crime? After washing up, Lynn Ran turned around to find Luo Yao standing behind him, looking pitiful and charming. Ran, don't you like Yao Yao anymore? Lynn Ran's nosebleed gushed out again. That night, after the absurdity, Lynn Ran turned to look at this energetic little devil. Yao Yao, don't you usually rest? Luo Yao woke up very early every day and often couldn't sleep until late at night. He, on the other hand, had plenty of opportunities to catch up on sleep during the day, while Luo Yao seemed to work all day. Lynn Ran felt Luo Yao was like a perpetual motion machine that never rested. He didn't know how she managed it. Luo Yao was slightly surprised, but immediately replied, Of course I rest. I'm resting now. With that, she clung to Lynn Ran like a sloth. The next day, Lynn Ran, unsurprisingly, didn't go to school again. Wu Zhishang was so angry he wanted to curse. What Lynn Ran didn't know was that someone was frantically looking for him that day. Lin Tianba had been using illness as an excuse to delay the court hearing. His plan was to find Lynn Ran before the hearing and settle things privately. Though he called it a private settlement, his true intention was to make Lynn Ran kneel, kowtow, apologize, and then he would magnanimously allow Lynn Ran to be his son again. On the first day of school, he had planned to take Lynn Ran directly from school, but he hadn't expected Lynn Ran to come with Luo Yao, which made him back down, planning to find Lynn Ran the next day. But when he came to the school the next day and asked, Lynn Ran hadn't attended. Just this morning, several people from the court had gone to his company, and, on the grounds of Lin Tianba maliciously refusing to appear in court, froze all assets under his name. Not only that, because Lynn Ran was a shareholder of the Saran Group, this matter involved the entire group company, and the group's corporate accounts were frozen as well. The reason given was that the Saran Group owed shareholder dividends, and the shareholder had applied to freeze the group's funds. Upon hearing the news, Lin Tianba was stunned. He hadn't expected this brat to be so ruthless. At this point, he rushed to the school in a panic, only to find out that Lynn Ran still hadn't come to class today. He contacted Lin Jian and even Lu Ruxue, but none of them could reach Lin Ran. He was frantic because he had to make a payment to a very important partner today. If the payment wasn't made on time, the construction site could face a shutdown, and he himself might have to bear liability for breach of contract. After a whole morning of mediation, neither the bank nor the court would budge. Who would dare to? The plaintiff's lawyer was the head of the Luo Corporation's legal department, a top gun in the industry, known as the #1 legal expert in the country. One wrong move, and even the one banging the gavel could get into trouble. Moreover, lawyer Su Kai's procedures were compliant and legal. No one could say no. The entire Lin family was so anxious they were about to cough up blood. Lin Tianba, in particular, was so enraged and anxious that he was hospitalized. Lu Ruxue found Wu Zhishang, only saying she needed to find Lin Ran, but not why. Wu Zhishang, naturally, wouldn't help her contact Lin Ran. Helpless, Lu Ruxue had to ask other classmates for help. Around noon, she finally managed to contact Lin Ran through a classmate's phone. Lin Ran picked up the phone, but Lu Ruxue's voice came from the other end. "Brother Lin Ran? Uncle is looking for you urgently. Can you—" Beep, beep, beep. Lin Ran cursed under his breath. Ciao. The phone rang again, and Lin Ran hung up directly. Of course, he knew why Lin Tianba was looking for him. It was obvious lawyer Su Kai had made his move. Weren't you dragging your feet on paying? Fine, keep dragging. Let's see who gets anxious in the end. Just as Lin Ran was feeling pleased, Wu Zhishang also called him. Brother Lin, your stepmother Lu Yuanmei is causing a scene in the principal's office. She said if you don't come out, she'll let the whole school know you angered your father into the hospital. The principal said Lu Yuanmei is making a huge fuss, calling you unfilial, saying the Lin family raised you for so many years and you're ungrateful, even pushing their family to a dead end. The principal asked me to check with you. He's temporarily holding her back. I felt sick hearing it. How can this family be so disgusting? Damn, Brother Lin, you've really suffered all these years. Lin Ran was silent for a moment, thinking to himself that they must have truly been pushed to their limit. Otherwise, a woman like Lu Yuanmei, who cared so much about her reputation, wouldn't cause a scene at school. It's fine. I'll go see what she's up to. To meet the Lin family again, Lin Ran had to make a high-profile entrance. This time, he picked an outfit from his walk-in closet that perfectly suited someone in a superior position, luxurious yet understated, exuding an air of profound heritage at first glance. Though not used to wearing a watch, he surprisingly chose a Patek Philippe 5208T and put it on. He then drove out his Koenigsegg again. His ride was incredibly expensive, his watch half as much, and his clothes worth at least hundreds of thousands. Lin Ran seemed like walking renminbi, making an incredibly high-profile exit from the manor, heading to school. He had already registered this car for a gate pass last time, so the barrier at the school entrance lifted automatically. As soon as he entered the school, he was met with countless gazes of envy, jealousy, and resentment. From the laboratory building, teaching blocks, and dormitories, many people craned their necks. The Koenigsegg was simply too eye-catching. The last time Lin Ran drove this car here was during the summer break. This time, it was during the school term. On the sports field, the underclassmen resting during military training all looked up, faces full of envy, until the car stopped in the parking area and Lin Ran slowly emerged, instantly capturing countless infatuated gazes. Step by step, he walked to the principal's office. As soon as Lin Ran entered, he saw Lu Yuanmei lying on the floor, throwing a tantrum, while several security guards watched her with headaches. "Principal, I'm here." Hearing Lin Ran's voice, Lu Yuanmei froze and quickly got up. "Xiao Ran, you're finally here. Quickly save your father." As soon as she finished speaking, Lu Yuanmei was stunned. Lin Ran's attire was incredibly lavish. The clothes he wore seemed to be custom-made by hand, and the watch on his wrist looked expensive at a glance. He had left the Lin family. Where did he get the money for such an outfit? Principal Tang walked over, patted Lin Ran's shoulder, and gave him a meaningful look. "Lin Ran, do you need the school's help? Our school's legal department is quite capable. No need to trouble the school. I can handle it myself." Principal Tang nodded. "All right, you two talk first. Remember to find me if you need anything. The school is your strongest support." Shaking his head, Principal Tang went out. He had only found out today that Lin Ran was a child of the Lin family. If so, why didn't the Lin family care much for this child? As far as he knew, Lin Ran hadn't had an easy time these past few years. Although he had started a company now, Principal Tang always believed Lynn Ran had built it up bit by bit through years of hard work. Lynn Ran had excellent grades and was willing to endure hardship. Such a person was destined for success. Lynn Ran's fame wasn't limited to students. It extended to teachers and the principal. However, as the principal, he only knew that Lynn Ran had a hard life in the past, not that Lynn Ran's hard work and effort were all to be a simp. Lynn Ran nodded. He also respected this old principal. After the principal left, only Lynn Ran and Liu Yuanmei remained in the room. Xiao Ran, please save your father. His company's funds have been frozen. Lynn Ran held out a hand to stop the approaching Liu Yuanmei. First, he's not my father. Do I need to show you the disownment certificate again? Second, the company isn't his either. In terms of shares, I have the most say. Third, I'm an ungrateful wretch. Naturally, I recognize money, not people. Lynn Ran's few words left Liu Yuanmei speechless. No matter what, get them to unfreeze the company's accounts first. Lynn Ran, do you think I'm a bank? Unfreeze just because you say so? Liu Yuanmei, but if you withdraw the lawsuit, this matter can be resolved. Lynn Ran, you're right. Withdrawing the lawsuit can indeed solve it. But I don't want to withdraw it. Liu Yuanmei, you really are an ungrateful wretch. I don't care if you don't withdraw the lawsuit. I'll tell the whole school that you angered your biological father into the hospital and make you lose face completely. Lynn Ran, Liu Yuanmei, the Saran Group was single-handedly founded by my biological mother. When she died, the shares were left to me. For so many years, not only did you not give me dividends, but you also abused me in every way. You were originally just a mistress. What do you get the nerve to threaten me? Your assets were frozen completely legally and legitimately. As long as you hand over my share dividends, I will withdraw the lawsuit. Is that so hard to do? You've been sucking my blood for so many years. It's already an act of extraordinary mercy that I haven't sent you to hell. What more are you dissatisfied with? Liu Yuanmei, nonsense. When did we ever abuse you? I never laid a hand on you. Look at you now, dressed so decently. Dare you say you don't have your current life, thanks to the Lin family? Lynn Ran, that's right. You never hit me, but you let Lin Tianba hit me. You also punished me by denying me food. There was clearly a maid at home, yet you made me do housework and cook every day, serving your whole family. From the age of 13, you gave me a mere 300 yuan a month. Even a maid isn't that cheap, and I had to earn my own school fees. Why do you have to comment on my clothes? The money I spend now has nothing to do with your Lin family. Or are you saying you don't want to admit these facts? Liu Yuanmei, that was just us wanting to train you. You're a boy. More training is a good thing. Lynn Ran, why don't you train your son then? Is he not a boy? When did he go to Thailand? How come I didn't know? Are you trying to make yourself childless and cut off your family line? Liu Yuanmei, nonsense. My son is a proper man. How can you compare to my son? He is the young master of the Lin family. Lynn Ran, a child born to a mistress, and you dare call him the young master of the Lin family. Liu Yuanmei, I am the real Mrs. Lin. Back then, your father didn't like your mother at all, and he disliked you even more. Every holiday, he spent it with me and Xiao Jian. Lynn Ran, so, you admit you're a mistress? Or are you saying you deliberately seduced Lin Tianba to become Mrs. Lin? Or perhaps, it's true love. Liu Yuanmei was so angry her eyebrows shot up. She didn't understand why Lynn Ran had changed so much. He had been so submissive all these years. Lynn Ran, admit it. It's just you and me here. No need to pretend to be a good person. Since you want to talk, let's be clear. Liu Yuanmei, I didn't seduce your father. Your father seduced me. He said as long as I was his lover, he would marry me sooner or later. Lynn Ran's face darkened. Could his biological mother's death also be related to Lin Tianba? Lynn Ran walked towards Liu Yuanmei step by step. So you too killed my mother? Liu Yuanmei's eyes widened. No, it wasn't me. Don't talk nonsense. Lynn Ran. Then it was Lin Tianba. Liu Yuanmei looked at Lynn Ran in disbelief, shaking her head frantically. No, don't talk nonsense. Nobody killed that bitch. Lynn Ran slapped her across the face with a paw. Liu Yuanmei stood frozen. Lynn Ran smiled. A mere mistress dares to speak of my mother? You want me to withdraw the lawsuit? Dream on. Aren't you and Lin Tianba in true love? Then it seems money isn't that important. So just stick with your true love. I will definitely make the Lin family bankrupt. Liu Yuanmei cried and said, You can't do this. I am Mrs. Lin. I can't be without money. If you dare to do this, I'll make you lose face in front of the whole school. Lynn Ran shrugged. I don't care. Anyway, I've already severed ties with Lin Tianba, with his handwritten signature and witnessed by a lawyer. So no matter what you say, I won't withdraw the lawsuit. Liu Yuanmei, Aren't you afraid I'll say? Lynn Ran took out his phone and played the recording from earlier. It was your father who seduced me. You can't do this. I am Mrs. Lynn, I can't be without money. Louis Wemay. Lynn Ran turned and walked out of the office. Say what you want. I don't mind making this recording public. Louis Wemay slumped to the floor. She hadn't expected the current Lynn Ran to be so cunning. If Lynn Ran released the recording, not only would people know she was a mistress and Lin Jian was the son of mistress, but it would also cause Lin Tianba to misunderstand her. If Lin Tianba got angry and then investigated further, Louis Wemay felt a chill run down her spine. Lynn Ran walked out of his office and straight off campus, determined to avoid any chance of running into Lu Rushua. A short while later, Su Kai called. Mr. Lin Tianba has agreed to hand over the dividends. His only condition is that we drop the lawsuit, and then he'll pay. Lynn Ran replied, no deal. We'll drop the lawsuit when the money is in our account. Lynn Ran knew, of course, that Lin Tianba couldn't produce the money unless his funds were unfrozen. He was deliberately making him sweat. Figure something out, or face the consequences. Either way, your fate is already sealed. At the Su Ran group, Lin Tianba, dragging his ailing body, had returned only to face an onslaught from the shareholders, all condemning him for his irresponsibility. By now, the shareholders all knew why the company's funds had been frozen. They hadn't expected the conflict between the Lin father and son to escalate to this point. As shareholders, they didn't care about family squabbles or who was right or wrong. Their only concern was their interests and power. Now that Lin Tianba's mistakes had caused such significant losses, the shareholders couldn't stand idly by. They convened a meeting to oust him as chairman, but the attempt failed. It was no use. Lin Tianba held too large a stake and still had supporters among them, causing the meeting to end in discord. Finally, they issued an ultimatum. Lin Tianba had one day to resolve the issue, or they would fight him to the bitter end, even if it meant losing their shares. Lin Tianba sat alone in the gloomy meeting room, chain-smoking. He had no choice but to find a way to scrape together the money for Lynn Ran. Otherwise, the company wouldn't last much longer. This could very well be the spark that ignited a full-blown corporate crisis. A ding sounded. Lin Tianba listlessly picked up his phone. Most messages these days were from shareholders blaming him. But when he saw who this message was from, his pupils dilated slightly. He quickly tried to make a voice call, but it immediately showed, the other party is not yet your friend. Lin Tianba was so furious he almost smashed his phone. After a moment's thought, he opened the file. A recording began to play. #Yen. It was your father who seduced me. You can't do this. I'm Mrs. Lin. I can't live without money. This. Lin Tianba's face was so dark it looked like storm clouds could gather there. It took him a long while to regain his composure. After some thought, he contacted Lu Yuemei and Lin Jian. They sat down for a family meeting. That rebellious son is dead set on humiliating me. There's no other way. We have to scrape the money together. Lu Yuemei immediately looked reluctant. How are we supposed to do that? Our family simply doesn't have 300 million. Lin Tianba pressed his forehead. Then we'll liquidate assets. Sell the houses, the cars. And don't you have a lot of jewelry? Sell it all. Once this storm passes, we'll buy back everything we've lost. Though Lu Yuemei was 1,000 times unwilling, it was no use. She, too, understood the gravity of the situation. Seeing her reluctance, Lin Tianba spoke slowly. Did you go see that rebellious son, Lynn Ran, today? Lu Yuemei froze. Then, as if remembering something, her body began to tremble slightly. Honey, I just wanted to help you, to help the company. Lin Tianba chuckled dryly. A fine job you did. Don't help next time. Lu Yuemei was about to say more when Lin Tianba continued. He sent me the recording of your conversation. A chill ran down Lu Yuemei's spine, but she quickly composed herself. Honey, it's not what you think. I was just so angry I was spouting nonsense. I love you. Lin Tianba nodded. I know. I'm not angry, because I love you too. We're a loving family. Lu Yuemei looked touched, grasping Lin Tianba's hand with one of hers and Lin Jian's with the other. That's right. We're a family, a loving family. Lin Jian looked from his father to his mother and nodded obediently. Yes, we're a loving family. Lin Tianba took a deep breath. He admitted he'd been furious when he first heard the recording, but on reflection, it was nothing. If Lu Yuemei didn't love him, why would she have borne him a child? Why would she have been his mistress for 13 years? Could she really just love his money? Impossible. Lin Tianba felt a pang of sorrow for that momentary thought, deep sorrow and profound guilt. So, he chose to be lenient with Liu Yuanmei to forgive his wife. Once we get through this, I'll take you both on a trip to Africa. Both nodded in agreement. To quickly raise cash, Lin Tianba sold off all his properties at low prices, keeping only the villa they currently lived in. Lin Jian's cars, his own cars, and even some of their stocks and funds were all sold off, but they still hadn't raised enough. And the shareholders, smelling blood in the water, ruthlessly bought up Lin Tianba's assets at bargain prices. Because of the asset freeze, they could only sign sales contract for now, but Lin Tianba wouldn't dare renege on these deals later. By evening, they were still short of the 300 million, by a full 100 million. Liu Yuanmei pursed her lips, but said nothing. She had an ace up her sleeve. Over the years, she had amassed a considerable private stash, a card with a full 50 million on it, which she kept with Lin Jian. This was roughly the amount of liquid cash the Lin family had before they started selling off their assets. Just as they were despairing, an unexpected visitor arrived. Brother Dao, the top figure in Jingdu's Underworld. Every penny he earned was detailed in the criminal code. Lin Tianba looked bewildered but dared not offend the man. He had certainly heard of Brother Dao. Liu Yuanmei and Lin Jian didn't know Brother Dao, but seeing Lin Tianba's deferential manner, they too were polite. Brother Dao said, "Boss Lin, I won't beat around the bush. I hear you're in dire need of cash. I'm here to deliver some." Lin Tianba was stunned. Then his face lit up with pleasant surprise. He knew Brother Dao's main business was money lending. His own desperate sale of assets today was no secret. Clearly, he was in trouble. So, Brother Dao was here to lend him money, and he would just have to pay some interest. As long as the company's funds were unfrozen and operations could resume, even high interest wouldn't matter. At this thought, Lin Tianba beamed, and even Liu Yuanmei and Lin Jian looked thrilled. Lin Tianba said, "So that's it. Brother Dao, you're truly a godsend. I have indeed run into some trouble and need a substantial sum. It's quite a lot. I wonder if Brother Dao can manage it." Brother Dao asked, "How much?" Lin Tianba held up one finger. Brother Dao paused, thinking to himself. Lynn Ran's estimate was spot on. 100 million? Simple. We can sign the papers right now. Lin Tianba was taken aback. He hadn't expected a gangster to possess such resources. "Then thank you, Brother Dao. I'll be able to repay you very soon." Lin Tianba wasn't stupid. He knew it was best not to get too involved with people like this. Brother Dao chuckled. Then his expression suddenly turned cold. "Boss Lin, the term is 1 month. You'll pay 30% interest, and this villa will serve as collateral. If you have any objections, you can refuse now." Lin Tianba stiffened. He had to admit he was intimidated. The interest rate was astronomically high. Liu Yuanmei and Lin Jian also looked rigid, their brows furrowing repeatedly at the shocking interest rate. Lin Tianba gritted his teeth. "All right, consider it the price of making a friend like Brother Dao." After the papers were signed, Brother Dao pocketed the rather informal IOU and looked at Lin Tianba with a smile. "Boss Lin, I won't spell out the consequences of not repaying. I, Daozi Blade, have been around Jingdu for many years, and I've never failed to collect a debt. You wouldn't want your wife teaching foreign languages at an entertainment club, would you?" At these words, Liu Yuanmei and Lin Jian both jumped, a sense of foreboding creeping into their hearts. Liu Yuanmei tugged at Lin Tianba's sleeve. Wiping cold sweat from his brow, Lin Tianba nodded. Don't worry. I guarantee I'll repay you principal and interest within a month." He knew very well the consequences of defaulting. With Brother Dao's capabilities, Liu Yuanmei might genuinely end up teaching foreign languages at an entertainment club, and even he himself might be dragged in to do the same. Satisfied, Brother Dao left the Lin villa with his men. Lin Tianba and the others let out a collective sigh of relief and sank back onto the sofa. "It's all that little bastard Lynn Ran's fault." Lin Tianba fumed. "Making me lose an extra 30 million. Sooner or later, I'll get it back." Liu Yuanmei frowned. "Actually, the loss is 330 million. And with everything we sold at a discount, it's probably closer to 400 million. 400 million. In all her years with the Lin family, she'd never seen so much money, and now it was all going to that little bastard." Lin Jian started to cry. "Dad, even if Brother forces you to give him all the money, I won't blame him. He's my only brother. After all," Liu Yuanmei said, "I hope little Ran sees the error of his ways once he gets the money. After all, nothing in this world is more important than the bond between father and son. As long as he kowtows, admits his mistake, and doesn't want the money, honey, you should forgive him." Lin Tianba's anger spiked. You two are just too soft. You treat him like family, but he certainly doesn't see you that way. Even if he kowtows, admits his mistake, and refuses the dividends, I'll still have to give him a good thrashing before I consider him my son again. Lu Yueme said worriedly, Honey, we absolutely must repay that loan within a month. Otherwise, I'm terrified of what that brother Dao might do to our family. Don't worry, I have it under control, Lin Tianba said. That rebellious son, He grew angrier as he spoke, as if he would suffocate if he didn't vent his fury. After a moment's thought, he turned to the housekeeper. Wang Ma, throw out all of Lynn Ran's things. I don't want to see anything of his in this house. Wang Ma sighed. Sir, when the young master came back last time, he took all his belongings. He didn't leave anything behind. He even smashed the bicycle by the door. Lin Tianba was taken aback. He only took one suitcase. How much could he possibly have packed? When Wang Ma didn't reply, Lin Tianba stood up huffily. Forget it. I'll throw them out myself. With that, he stormed towards Lin Ran's room. Lu Yueme and Lin Jian, startled, tried to stop him, but it was too late. Lin Tianba shoved open the door to Lin Ran's room and froze. Why is this a storage room? Wang Ma looked at Lin Tianba puzzled. Sir, this has always been the storage room. The young master lived here for 10 years. Wang Ma couldn't understand. The villa had so many rooms. Why make the young master live in a storage closet? She understood even less why the wealthy Lin family was always so harsh on him. She was the housekeeper, yet they often made the young master do chores. Was Lynn Ran truly Lin Tianba's biological son? Lu Yueme hurried up behind him. Honey, wasn't it you who said you were worried little Ran would develop extravagant habits? So you wanted him to live a more ordinary life? That's why I had this room prepared for him. Look, this room. Lu Yueme glanced inside and also froze for a moment. The room, less than 5 square meters, contained nothing but a bed and a simple wardrobe. It didn't even have a window, and there was barely any space to stand. Honey, it's my fault. I didn't notice this room didn't have a window. Lin Tianba rubbed his forehead. Never mind. He's a boy. It doesn't matter. He stepped into the room, looking for something of Lin Ran's to throw out, but found nothing. The wardrobe was empty. Under the bed, nothing. Wang Ma, when did Lin Ran come back and take his things? Wang Ma replied, Sir, as I said, the young master packed up everything when he was here last. He had nothing, just a pair of shoes that had been mended many times, 2 old high school uniforms, and a set of casual clothes that I once gave him. Lin Tianba stood there speechless. It suddenly dawned on him that Lin Ran probably never had any money to buy clothes. A sudden pang of guilt struck him. Over the years, he truly hadn't cared enough for this son. If Lin Ran refused the dividends and knelt to apologize, perhaps he could be forgiven. The boy was probably just going through a rebellious phase. Lin Jian glared at Wang Ma, gritting his teeth. You, and your big mouth, he thought. Lu Yueme quickly interjected. Honey, I offered to take little Ran shopping for clothes before, but he always said he didn't want any. So don't blame Wang Ma. Wang Ma? What on earth are you talking about? Seizing the excuse, Lin Tianba readily accepted it. Well, if he didn't want them himself, then we can't be blamed. Sigh. I'll talk to him when we meet tomorrow. Lu Yueme and Lin Jian exchanged a glance, but said nothing. Lin Tianba contacted Su Kai, saying he wanted to meet Lin Ran to give him the dividends. When Lin Ran received the news, a Dragon King smile spread across his face. Everything is proceeding so smoothly. Lin Tianba, you think this is over? Your nightmare only truly begins after you hand over the money. What are you smiling about, Ran? Luo Yao asked, snuggled beside him. Lin Ran, one arm around the beauty in his embrace, picked up a grape with his other hand and fed it to his little devil. Luo Yao opened her mouth and swallowed it. Just admiring how cute you look when you eat. Luo Yao chewed. Not as tasty as the imported ones. Such a small request, easily satisfied, Lin Ran thought. Luo Yao was becoming increasingly clingy with Lin Ran. Whenever she saw him, she felt an almost physical need to be draped over him. Lin Ran enjoyed her clinginess. He had to take good care of his Yandero wife. Ran, I have a business trip tomorrow. You be good while I'm gone, okay? Lin Ran wore a pained expression. You're going on a business trip? When will you be back? The day after tomorrow. Lin Ran nodded helplessly. Luo Yao said, There's an auction tomorrow night. Why don't you go represent the Luo group and check it out? She wanted to find something for Lin Ran to do. Otherwise, she worried he might go looking for Lu Ruishu out of boredom. With her not at home, she couldn't give Lin Ran a chance to disappear. Lin Ran was taken aback. The Luo group? Can I really represent them? Luo Yao replied. You're my husband, of course you can. Tomorrow, I'll have Lu Meng accompany. No, I'll have Fu Bo go with you. Bid on whatever you like, don't worry about the money. Lynn Ran, okay. Hee hee. I'll be rich tomorrow. Luo Yao knew Lin Tianba planned to discuss the Lin family dividends with Lynn Ran tomorrow. After a moment of silence, she still reminded him, if anything happens, be sure to contact me. Lynn Ran, all right. Time flew by, and it was the next day. At 8 o'clock, Lynn Ran arrived at the appointed restaurant on time with Su Kai. Lin Tianba hadn't arrived yet. As the father, he felt he had to assert his authority over his son and would never arrive before him. The appointment was for 8, but he deliberately planned to arrive at 9. Lin Ran waited only 5 minutes. Seeing Lin Tianba still hadn't shown up, he decided not to wait any longer. Before leaving, he gave Su Kai a few instructions. At 9 o'clock, Lin Tianba finally arrived at the restaurant with his family. He hoped to sway Lin Ran through them, making a last-ditch effort. Entering the room, he saw Su Kai and 2 assistants, but not Lin Ran. Little boss, where is that rebellious son? Lin Ran. Su Kai said very politely, Mr. Lin has already left. He said that since you don't seem eager to give him the money, he's in no hurry either. Lin Tianba was stunned. He took a breath and said, who said I don't want to give him the money? Tell him to come over. I'll give him the money right now. Su Kai, I'm sorry, Mr. Lin Tianba, Mr. Lin Ran said he's going back to sleep. Anything can be discussed later. Lin Tianba was so angry he almost couldn't breathe. If this matter wasn't resolved today, the shareholders would definitely make things difficult for him. Sleeping in broad daylight? What a bad habit. Tell him to come. I'll give him the money now. Su Kai, I'm sorry, Mr. Lin Ran said that you were the one who was late and missed the appointment. It's not his fault. So if you want him to come back, you must show some sincerity. Lin Tianba looked confused. What do you mean? Su Kai said politely. If you want Mr. Lin Ran to come back, you need to kneel and beg him. Lin Tianba, what did you say? Make me kneel and beg him? He's rebelling. Su Kai smiled. So, will you kneel or not? If you don't, I'll turn around and leave, and I won't make things difficult for you. Lin Tianba suppressed his anger. You tell him, dream on. I'm not kneeling. This time, Su Kai truly said nothing more, stood up, and prepared to leave. His 2 assistants also packed up and were about to head out. Lin Tianba was dumbfounded. Lu Yuemei and Lin Jian were stunned. Wait! Just as Su Kai was about to step out the door, Lin Tianba stopped him. Su Kai turned back, smiling. Have you made up your mind, Mr. Lin Tianba? Lin Tianba gritted his teeth and said resentfully, I'll kneel. You. Get. Him. Here. Su Kai. I'm sorry, Mr. Lin Tianba, Mr. Lin Ran doesn't need to come. He then took out his phone and made a video call to Lin Ran. It rang several times before Lin Ran picked up. Through the video, they saw Lin Ran was indeed lying in bed, sleeping. Lawyer Su, what's up? Su Kai. Sorry to disturb your rest. Mr. Lin Tianba said he'd like you to come over. Lin Ran. There's no need for me to go. You can act as my representative. Just have him kneel, kowtow, admit his mistake, then he can hand over the money and scram. Hearing Lin Ran's words, Lin Tianba trembled with anger and almost burst out cursing, but he held back. It wasn't time to fall out completely yet. He still needed Lin Ran to withdraw the lawsuit. Su Kai aimed the phone camera at Lin Tianba. Mr. Lin Tianba, you can begin. Lin Tianba hesitated, then gritted his teeth and said, Lin Ran, do we, father and son, really have to go this far? Lin Ran, damn it, are you kneeling or not? If not, I'm hanging up. Lin Tianba closed his eyes and slowly knelt. A father kneeling to his son. Aren't you afraid, you rebellious brat, that this will shorten your life? Next time you see me, won't you feel the urge to kowtow and admit your mistake? The voice came from the phone speaker. Can't you speak? Are you mute? Lin Tianba gritted his teeth. I'm sorry. It was my fault. I shouldn't have been late. Lin Ran comfortably shifted his position. Not bad, not bad. Mr. Lin Tianba knows when to bend and when to stand tall. A good dog. Transfer the money to my account and coordinate the rest with Lawyer Su. With that, he hung up, saved the screen recording, and happily went back to sleep. This was a video that could bring him joy. He'd take it out to watch whenever he felt like it. You always wanted me to kneel to you. Today, we see who kneels to whom. After Lin Ran hung up, Lin Tianba was in a daze. He felt that all the humiliations of the past decades had converged in this single moment. Had he really, truly knelt to Lin Ran? Suppressing the anguish in his heart, he stood up. Can the lawsuit be withdrawn now? Su Kai nodded and handed over a document. Transfer the money to the designated account and sign this. Once the money arrives, the lawsuit will naturally be withdrawn. Lin Tianba had initially planned to play the family card to sway Lynn Ran and avoid paying. But he never got the chance and began to regret being late. He didn't dare play any tricks in front of a lawyer like Su Kai, so he could only endure the pain and transfer the money to the designated account. Beside him, Lui Wei and her son were filled with immense sorrow. This was all their money. Upon receiving the notification that the money had arrived, Lynn Ran sent a message to Su Kai, who then arranged for the lawsuit to be withdrawn. Seeing the dust settle, Lin Tianba regained his former arrogance. You tell that rebellious son, he should never dream of returning to the Lin family. Even if he kowtows, admits his mistake, and slaps himself, I will never acknowledge him as my son again. Su Kai smiled and extended his hand. Lin Tianba was taken aback. What do you mean? Su Kai. Hello, Mr. Lin Tianba. My name is Su Kai. On behalf of Mr. Lynn Ran, who has entrusted me with the sale of his Su Ran Group shares, I am formally notifying you. I hope you will convene a shareholders meeting as soon as possible. I will handle all matters as Mr. Lynn Ran's legal representative. Lin Tianba what? Su Kai produced another document and handed it to Lin Tianba. This is the letter of authorization and the share sale proposal. Please review it, Chairman Lin. Lin Tianba took the document and read it again and again, his eyes wide with shock. Lynn Ran wanted to sell his shares in the Su Ran Group. This would have a massive impact on Lin Tianba, potentially changing the entire group structure. His position as chairman might be at risk, and even if he kept it, he would lose his say at shareholder meetings. Lynn Ran held 30% of the shares, and he himself held 21%. Between the two of them, they could represent the entire group. But now Lynn Ran wanted to sell, which meant he was preparing to withdraw. Yet, Lynn Ran was his son. Those 30% shares should be his, the father's. His past control over the company was due to this. Shouldn't this rebellious son unconditionally transfer these shares to him, his father? Such a huge matter. Why didn't that little bastard tell me? Su Kai, Chairman Lin, I have clearly informed you of my client's intention to sell his shares. If you continue to insult my client repeatedly, I have the right to sue you and hold you accountable for your actions. Lin Tianba was completely dumbstruck. He knew Lin Ran was dead set on selling the shares. If those old geezers found out Lin Ran was selling, they would definitely fight for them, and he would no longer be the de facto controller of the Su Ran Group. On what grounds could this rebellious son sell the shares? Those shares should be his. More critically, Lin Ran held 30%. He wasn't a minor shareholder. If sold, given Su Ran Group's reputation, a premium sale was highly likely. Even without a premium, it was conservatively estimated at $800 million. He had no ability to acquire them. Even if he emptied the Lin family coffers, he couldn't buy them back. Wanting Lin Ran to gift them to him was clearly impossible in the current situation. What on earth was this rebellious son trying to do? Did he really want to drive his old man to his grave before he'd be happy? Puffed. Lin Tianba spat out a mouthful of blood. Lui Wei and Lin Jian were startled and rushed to support Lin Tianba, who had collapsed. Lui Wei cried, "You black-hearted lawyer, if you've angered my husband to death, can you afford to compensate?" Su Kai stared at Lui Wei and said seriously, "Madam, words require evidence. Otherwise, I can sue you for slander." "I am not joking." Lui Wei was also stunned. She didn't understand much about law, but she knew how capable Su Kai was. After all, Su Kai had handled the $300 million matter for Lin Ran. Otherwise, that good-for-nothing Lin Ran could never have achieved it. With trembling hands, she dialed 120. Soon, Lin Tianba was taken away by an ambulance. Su Kai reported the events to Lin Ran, who naturally found another reason to be happy. He instructed Su Kai on the next steps and then went to prepare for the evening's auction. With $300 million in hand, his own money, he could spend it however and on whomever he pleased. This feeling was incredibly satisfying. Nightfall. The Luo family's old residence, nestled in a mountain valley on the outskirts of Kyoto. It wasn't vast, but it faced south, was built against the mountain, and had several small streams winding through its interior. Truly excellent feng shui, backed by the mountain and graced by water, signifying strong support. After centuries of wind and rain, the old house had been continuously renovated, yet it still retained its antique charm to this day. A slender figure appeared at the entrance, and the guards did not stop her. Stepping into the courtyard, it was cold and deserted. The figure didn't pause, continuing deeper inside. Lifting her head slightly, it was none other than Luo Yao, who was supposedly on a business trip. Winding past old buildings, she soon arrived at the main house in the rear courtyard. "Since you're back, why don't you come in?" Luo Yao gently pushed open the door and walked inside, her eyes mockingly scanning the old man in the room. The old man sat in a wheelchair, looking up at Luo Yao, his eyes filled with an indescribable emotion. Faced with Luo Yao's sudden appearance, old Master Luo didn't show much panic. What? Not even going to call me Grandpa? Luo Yao walked over step by step, the sound of her high heels on the floor like a death knell. Only then did old Master Luo's heart begin to pound with fear. He didn't know why this mad girl's aura had suddenly become so terrifying. It felt like the aura of death itself. Luo Yao smiled, a smile both brilliant and eerie. Then, a light, cheerful voice came from her lips. Old man, your legs are broken, yet you're still not behaving. How does it feel to be in a wheelchair? The old man frowned, as if to say, don't you know how my legs got broken? Clearing everyone out during the day and having this place secured. I knew you were coming back. Speak. What wind blew you back this time? Luo Yao nodded. Not bad. You're not senile yet. Actually, it's nothing major. Your granddaughter came back tonight to borrow 2 things from you. But once borrowed, they can't be returned. Oh. A cold sweat trickled down old Master Luo's spine. What do you want to borrow? Luo Yao extended a hand, making a V sign with 2 fingers pointed at old Master Luo. To borrow your pair of eyes. Since you love spying on people so much, I'll borrow your eyes for a bit. That way, you can see me all the time, can't you? Luo Yao's tone was almost coquettish, yet sent shivers down one's spine. Old Master Luo looked at Luo Yao in disbelief. You unfilial granddaughter. Luo Yao. Am I not what your Luo family wanted? Isn't this something you personally brought about? Didn't you say I was the most suitable person to be the Luo family's granddaughter? How am I unfilial now? Look at the Luo family now. How well I've developed it. Don't worry, it won't hurt. I'll be very gentle, very slow, as I gouge out your eyeballs to give to my Ran to play with as marbles. As she spoke, a cold glint of metal appeared in Luo Yao's hand. Old Master Luo was furious. Is that man so important? Important enough for you to harm your own grandfather? Luo Yao looked at old Master Luo's exasperated state and sneered. You look like a dog barking impotently. Though she spoke, her steps didn't falter. Anyone who dared to target Ran, no matter who they were, could not be spared. Just a few steps away from old Master Luo, a side wall suddenly opened, and several people leaped out. Leading them was a man with a sinisterly soft face. The man's name was Langya Wolf Fong, old Master Luo's confidant. The last time Luo Yao broke old Master Luo's legs, he was away on a mission and couldn't prevent it. His feelings for Luo Yao were complex. Besides hatred, there was some admiration, some fear, and some defiance. Of course, more than anything, there was desire for Luo Yao. He wanted Luo Yao to be his woman. Only by possessing a woman like Luo Yao could he feel a sense of accomplishment. His gaze towards Luo Yao was full of aggression, devoid of love, purely possessive. Especially in recent years, this desire constantly plagued his mind. He was going mad. He wanted to lock Luo Yao up and ravage her, even devour her. But he hadn't. He was holding back because he knew Luo Yao was indeed very strong. Luo Yao wasn't flustered at all. She had long guessed the old man wouldn't just give up. It was just unexpected that he had managed to dig a secret room right under her surveillance. That was indeed a surprise. Sensing Wolfong's gaze, Luo Yao narrowed her eyes. With just one look, she saw the man's problem. His gaze wasn't simple hostility. There was something else in it, something completely undisguised. Luo Yao knew very well what it was. He was like her. They were both sick. However, Luo Yao's possessiveness towards Lynn Ran was laced with love, while the effeminate man's was mere desire. If this man got a chance, her end would be miserable. Even suicide wouldn't spare her from humiliation. Old Master Luo sneered. Do you really think I'm some soft persimmon of a grandfather you can just push around? You think I wouldn't have a backup plan? Let me tell you, if Wolf Fong had been by my side last time, you wouldn't have succeeded at all. Wolf Fong, go. Take down this crazy girl. She'll be yours. A greedy look flashed in Wolf Fong's eyes, but he didn't dare to be careless. This was the instinct of a top assassin. Young miss, don't harm the old master. Surrender. Before he could finish, a cold glint flashed terrifyingly fast. Wolf Fong prided himself on having world-class reflexes, but before he could make any move, he felt a sweet taste in his throat. He tried to swallow, incredulously. Gulp. Severed. Luo Yao darted forward, grabbed the dagger embedded in Wolf Fong's Adam's apple, and twisted. Wolf Fong's entire head rolled glue onto the floor, his body still standing. A second later, blood gushed from the major artery, a testament to the incredible speed of Luo Yao's blade. You think you're worthy? Luo Yao hated the way men looked at her, and with her misandry, she couldn't give this man a chance. The entire scene fell silent, except for the sizzling sound of Wolf Fong's spurting blood. Old Master Luo's bodyguards were so shocked they couldn't speak, their pupils dilated. Wolf Fong wasn't just any bodyguard. He was once the #1 assassin in the Yangtze River Delta. Killed in an instant, everyone stared at Luo Yao in shock, including Old Master Luo. Old Master Luo pointed at Luo Yao aghast. You've been hiding your true strength all along. Wolf Fong had been Old Master Luo's last trump card. Luo Yao didn't answer, instead coldly looking at the other 4 bodyguards. A chill ran down their spines. They felt as if they were already dead. If even Wolf Fong was instantly killed, how could the 4 of them possibly be a match? Run? Run quickly. Let the man in the wheelchair fend for himself. They were just bodyguards, not death-sworn retainers. There was no need to sacrifice their lives to protect an old man on the brink of death. The 4 bodyguards opened the door and fled, glancing back at Luo Yao, who was still standing inside, secretly relieved. It seemed this woman wasn't bent on a total massacre. However, just then, bang, 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 for gunshots. The bodyguards all fell, twitched a couple of times, and then went silent. Luo Yao blew on the muzzle of her gun and slowly holstered it. Having cleanly dealt with the remaining 4 bodyguards, she turned her gaze back to Old Master Luo. Any more trump cards? Bring them all out. Old Master Luo trembled, whether from anger or fear, it was hard to tell. Seeing him silent, Luo Yao lost interest in continuing the conversation and walked over to him. It's your turn now, Grandpa. Old Master Luo shook his head in terror. No, no, Luo Yao, you can't do this. I'm your grandfather. Luo Yao's eyes showed no emotion. Old Master Luo. Grandpa was wrong. Grandpa won't dare anymore. A cold glint flashed from Luo Yao's hand, and then an eyeball appeared on the tip of her knife. The eyeball seemed to still be moving. Luo Yao, oops. I forgot. I need to dig it out slowly. Only then did Old Master Luo feel the pain. With a cry of ah, he fell out of his wheelchair and started screaming. Luo Yao, you're crazy, you. Matricidal. Crazy. Woman. Luo Yao crouched down, looking down at him. Yes, because I was always a crazy girl. She grabbed Old Master Luo's chin, and the knife in her other hand began to gesture again. This time I'll be very careful and slowly, perfectly dig out your eyeball. With Luo Yao's seemingly gentle movements, Old Master Luo's pig-slaughtering-like screams pierced through the entire old mansion. Spare. Grandpa. Luo Yao seemed to enjoy torturing people, even if this person was her grandfather. You dared to tail Ran, you should have expected this outcome. After a long while, Old Master Luo's perfect eyeball finally appeared in Luo Yao's hand. She held the eyeball between 2 fingers, examining it against the light, as if very satisfied with her masterpiece. Truly perfect. Don't worry, I'll make your eyeballs into specimens and put them in the manor, so you can watch us all the time. Old Master Luo writhed in pain on the floor, crawling, his hands grasping blindly, as if searching for his lost eyes. Luo Yao looked at him with disgust, mocking coldly. How pitiful. No legs and now no eyes. You'll have to be obedient from now on, okay? Otherwise, who knows what you'll lose next time. Of course, if you're willing to hand over what I want, perhaps I can give you a quick end. Old Master Luo, enduring the agony, said hatefully, We'll never have family, never have love. Luo Yao, having Ran is enough for me. Old Master Luo wailed in pain, crazy, all crazy. Walking out of the old house, Luo Yao looked at the scattered stars in the sky, then down at the bloodstains on herself, her mood exceptionally good. Closing her eyes, she felt the natural breath of the air, listening to the mournful cries coming from behind her. It seems like the world is still beautiful. Perhaps tonight, I won't go mad again. Should I rush back overnight then? I really want to see Ran soon. Does he miss me too? Just then, her phone rang. Opening her eyes, Luo Yao glanced at the number, her brow slightly furrowed. She walked back into the room, kicked the still wailing Old Master Luo unconscious, and then answered the phone. Listening to the call, her expression darkened progressively. Hanging up, her towering rage was unconcealed. Ran, you have lost your freedom. Luo Yao. Now, immediately click the gift button below and give the author a free power-up for love, or I'll turn you all into specimens. Time rewound to evening, at Kyoto's only 7-star hotel. Lu Ritian, Ru Shiwe, Tonight's auction dinner is very high profile. Your uncle-in-law is sick, so today we represent his company. We must be mindful of our conduct. Lu Rushua nodded elegantly, glancing at Lin Jian beside Lu Yuanmei. Brother Lin Jian doesn't seem very happy. Lu Ritian hadn't expected to attend such a high-profile auction dinner himself one day. Lin Tianba was hospitalized and couldn't attend personally, but he knew that at times like these, it was crucial to appear at important events to show that the Su Ran group was operating normally. So, he gave the invitation to Lu Yuanmei, asking her to bring Lin Jian to represent the Su Ran group, and by extension, the Lin family. Lu Yuanmei not only brought Lin Jian, but also invited her own brother. Lu Rushua was brought by Lu Ritian. The four of them, like a whole family entourage, appeared outside the Panga Hotel. Lu Yuanmei was adorned in jewels, fully displaying her status as Mrs. Lin. Lin Jian wore a handsome suit, looking deceptively presentable. Lu Ritian sported a slick-back hairstyle, shiny as if licked by a calf. Lu Rushua was dressed innocently, exuding a girl-next-door vibe. Just as Lu Rushua and Lin Jian were discussing various wealthy heirs and heiresses, an incredibly flashy red Ferrari LaFerrari drove ostentatiously into the hotel. Wow, a Ferrari LaFerrari. Sister Rushua, did you know? This car has long been out of production and is worth $25 million. I wonder who could possibly drive such a sports car. If only it were mine, I'd definitely take you for a drive in the mountains. A drive in the mountains? As if remembering something, Lu Rushua blushed. Brother Lin Jian, you're so annoying. Lu Riqian. Rushua, in the future, you must find a boyfriend of this caliber. Lu Rushua. Dad, what are you saying? Love can't be measured by cars. Lu Yuanmei, however, frowned without speaking. She felt the person in the car looked somewhat familiar. However, when they saw who got out of the car, all their eyes widened. Lynn Ran arrived at the entrance of the Panga Hotel with Uncle Fu and his good friend Wu Zhishang. Today, Lynn Ran was driving a red Ferrari LaFerrari, his entire outfit exuding flamboyance. Wu Zhishang sat in the passenger's seat, asking sheepishly, "Should I have worn black stockings?" Lynn Ran shot him a sidelong glance. "Don't be disgusting. I have a weak stomach. I might puke." Wu Zhishang. A weak stomach not only makes you prone to puking, but you also need to eat soft things to nourish it. Outside the hotel, the flashy red supercar slowly stopped. A doorman hurried to open the door and greet them. Lynn Ran tossed him the keys and casually pulled out a few Chairman Mao bills. "Take good care of the car, or no tip next time, okay?" The doorman quickly nodded. "Rest assured, young master." Beside them, Wu Zhishang looked astonished. Lynn Ran felt utterly exhilarated. This was the confidence of the wealthy. Uncle Fu also got out of the car from the back and, with Wu Zhishang, flanked Lynn Ran as they entered the hotel. Throughout the entire process, no one paid any attention to the dumbstruck Lu Rushua and her party. Wu Zhishang. "Brother Lin, Lu Rushua and the others are here. What should we do?" Lin Ran. "What's it to me? If he dares to bother me, I'll lie on the ground on the spot and make her pay me $1 million for car repairs." Wu Zhishang gave him a thumbs up. Just as Lu Yuanmei and Lu Ritian were about to go up and greet them, they were stopped by several bodyguards beside Lin Ran. Lin Ran and his group walked into the hotel without a glance. Lu Yuanmei suppressed her anger. "I am his mother. Why are you stopping me?" The bodyguards looked at each other. The leader said, "I'm sorry. Our Mr. Lin has said his mother passed away long ago. If you continue to cause trouble by impersonating Mr. Lin's mother, we don't mind taking you away for a chat." Lu Yuanmei almost couldn't catch her breath. After calming herself down for a good while, she looked up, intending to explain, only to find the bodyguards gone. Lu Ritian. Was that really Lin Ran, that little brat? How could he possibly drive a Ferrari? And with so many bodyguards? Lu Yuanmei's face was full of anger. She knew Lin Ran had money now. 300 million, spending a few tens of millions on a car was possible. There was also another issue. When she went to the school to see Lin Ran last time, his attire was clearly unusual. She figured he must have stolen a lot of money from the Lin family over the years. That money should have been hers, Lu Yuanmei's. The more she thought, the angrier she became. "Let's go in." Lu Yuanmei, clanking with her array of accessories, walked ahead. The gleaming Lu Ritian followed, with the slightly more presentable Lin Jian and Lu Rushua at the rear. Taking Lu Ritian and the others up the elevator to the venue, even Mrs. Lin, who was supposedly accustomed to luxury, was greatly shocked by the magnificent decor. She presented her invitation card, and, just as she was about to enter, she heard a staff member say, "Ma'am, one invitation card only admits 2 people. All 4 of you cannot enter." Liu Yuemei's anger instantly flared. She had already bottled up too much frustration today, and now being troubled by a staff member, she was about to explode. Didn't the one before us go in with 3 people? Why can't I? She was referring to Lynn Ran. The staff member said politely, "They are from the Luo Corporation. Naturally, they're different from you." The staff member thought the words Luo Corporation would explain everything, but unexpectedly, the woman before him didn't bite at all. Liu Yuemei didn't know any Luo Corporation. Angrily, she said, "What damn Luo Corporation? I've never even heard of it. If his Luo Corporation is an invited guest, isn't my Su Ran group? You're discriminating. I'm going to file a complaint against you." The staff member raised an eyebrow, but quickly resumed his smile. "I'm sorry, this is the rule." Just as Liu Yuemei was about to lose her temper, Liu Ritian stopped her and whispered in her ear, "Sister, the Luo Corporation is the world's #1 conglomerate. Our Su Ran group truly can't compare. It's like dust versus a skyscraper. And it's said that today's auction dinner has a profound background. Even if we're the Su Ran group, it's best not to cause trouble." Liu Yuemei was startled. The world's #1 conglomerate? Really? Lynn Ran had just entered with that kind of status? Liu Yuemei took a sharp breath and suppressed her temper. "Can really only 2 people enter? Can't you make an exception?" The staff member thought, "What do you think this place is? Make an exception? Look at the 4 of you, dressed like 4 freaks. It's a testament to my composure that I haven't called security already." "Yes, only 2 people can enter." Liu Yuemei sighed. "Then I'll go in with my son." Liu Ritian and his daughter, Liu Rushue, both wore expressions of astonishment. Liu Ritian, in particular, was so angry his hair felt like it was standing on end. "Sister, did you call me here just to have my daughter and me stand guard?" Liu Yuemei also felt a little embarrassed, but she really wanted to go in as she and Lin Jian were representing the Su Ran group. Liu Ritian snorted coldly. I can skip going in, but Rushu must go in to see the world." Lin Jian, sensing the awkward atmosphere, slowly spoke up. "I won't go in. Let Sister Rushua go in." Liu Rushua looked at Lin Jian with gratitude, and Lin Jian returned a meaningful glance. Liu Yuemei knew this whole situation was because she hadn't inquired about the rules beforehand, and now she couldn't say much, only tacitly agree. The image of Lynn Ran swaggering in earlier infuriated her. It was all Lynn Ran's fault. Otherwise, she wouldn't have lost face like this. Her hatred for Lynn Ran deepened. And so, Liu Yuemei led her niece into the venue. With one glance, she saw Lynn Ran sitting right at the front. After a moment's thought, she put on a benevolent expression and led Liu Rushue towards the front row. However, just then, a staff member stopped them. "Ladies, you can only sit in the back row. The private seats in the front are reserved for important figures." Liu Rushue, "Do you know who we are? We're from the Su Ran group." The staff member smiled. "I know the Su Ran group, a minor company in Kyoto that doesn't even register. To think you even look down on the Luo group, that truly opened my eyes. If you 2 are dissatisfied, you can leave now." He had clearly seen Liu Yuemei making things difficult for other staff members at the entrance earlier and knew this woman dared to disrespect even the Luo group. He'd long found the 2 of them disagreeable. Liu Yuemei felt a surge of suppressed anger. This staff member even dared to look down on the Su Ran group. It was a direct slap to her face. "You dare to look down on my Su Ran group?" "Staff member, if you choose to interpret it that way, there's nothing I can do." Do you believe I'll?" Just as she was about to say something, she remembered her brother mentioning that the organizer of tonight's auction dinner had a very powerful background. So, she redirected her finger towards Lynn Ran's seat. "My son is at the front, that one, representing the Luo group. I can go over now, right?" The staff member was startled and quickly used his earpiece to confirm with someone. After a short while, another staff member came over and replied, "Mr. Lin says he doesn't know these 2 people." Liu Yuemei instantly flared up. "Nonsense! Lin Ran is my son. How dare this ungrateful brat say he doesn't know me? Does he think latching onto the Luo group means he could disown his own family?" The staff member sneered, thinking to himself, "Of course, latching onto the Luo group means you could disown your family. Ladies, if you don't take your seats, please leave. If you disrupt the order, we have the right to clear the premises." Liu Yuemei hadn't expected even a staff member to be so assertive. But seeing the several security guards approaching from behind the staffer, she felt a bit intimidated. She pulled Liu Rushue to sit in the back row, then silently glared at Lynn Ran in the front row, her face full of hatred. It was all Lynn Ran's fault. If not for him, how could she have been so humiliated? Liu Rushue, "Auntie, what's really wrong with brother Lynn Ran?" Liu Yuemei didn't answer her. She couldn't very well say that Lynn Ran had extorted 300 million from the Lin family. could she? However, what Liu Yuemei didn't know was that Lin Jian had already told Liu Ruxue about this, but Liu Ruxue was merely pretending not to know. 300 million. If it were all given her, how many bags could she buy? Her gaze towards Lynn Ran was filled with love. If Lynn Ran was willing to offer 300 million as a betrothal gift, it wasn't impossible for her to marry him. Although she also loved Lin Jian was, after all, her first cousin. Such love was not recognized or blessed by society. And the current Lynn Ran perfectly met her marriage requirements. Rich, handsome, and most importantly, Lynn Ran had always been generous to her. If he could break off contact with that woman from the Luo family, then present 300 million with both hands and propose, she would probably agree. Lynn Ran, sitting in seat number 1 in the front row, hadn't looked back even once from start to finish. Instead, Uncle Fu beside him kept looking back frequently, his face etched with nervousness. Wu Zhishang, on the other hand, was constantly leaning close to Lin Ran's ear, whispering, "Brother Lin, this place is too damn luxurious. Look at that stage, look at those girls, look at those legs, look at Lin Ran. Look at your mother's hammer. Are you trying to get me killed? You damn nuisance." Wu Zhishang. Just then, the lights changed, and a host walked onto the stage. The entire hall gasped. Wu Zhishang's eyes widened. Holy crap, isn't this host Chun Qingtian, the leading star of Donghai Satellite TV? I thought the auction host would be some crusty old man. I didn't expect it to be a household name celebrity big sister. Lin Ran nodded. He also hadn't expected the host to be a celebrity. Lin Ran remembered that Chun Qingtian's career path had been quite smooth so far. Her only low point would occur shortly, when news would break about her discussing a script with a director late at night in a hotel. However, Chun Qingtian was no pushover. The moment the scandal broke, she did PR by revealing her wealthy family background. This not only shut the director up, but it also had the media outlets tripping over themselves to apologize and set the record straight. Because her background was too strong, no one dared to slander her further. But none of this concerned Lin Ran. He had merely seen her in person and recalled some memories. A celebrity? Heh. In the eyes of ordinary people, you're unreachable. In the eyes of big shots, you might just be a plaything. What truly commands respect is the power behind someone. Just like Chun Qingtian. Without a strong background, she would have been relentlessly smeared, never able to hold her head high again. Soon, Chun Qingtian picked up the microphone. Respected leaders, esteemed gentlemen and ladies, good evening everyone. Thank you all very much for attending today's charity dinner. I am Chun Qingtian. She then spoke for over 10 minutes before finally focusing on the charity auction. Everyone, today's charity auction officially begins. We solemnly promise that all commissions from this auction will be used for charitable causes, and we welcome everyone's supervision. Now, please welcome today's auctioneer, Mr. Yang Wei. Lin Ran suppressed a smile. That name carried a hint of self-deprecation. As Chun Qingtian's voice fell, a man in his 50s wearing a tang suit slowly walked onto the stage. Staff members immediately brought out the first item of the day. As the auction item was displayed, countless people gasped, and the PowerPoint presentation on the screen began its introduction. Everyone, this is the first item for today's auction, Eternal Love. This necklace is the final work of Master Jack, the chief designer of the renowned jewelry company. It employs top global craftsmanship, with the most precious sapphire inlaid in the center, surrounded by white diamonds. It is the only one of its kind in the world and is currently ranked as the world's #1 necklace. It is said to be Master Jack's posthumous work, created to commemorate the eternal love between him and his late wife. It symbolizes not only love, but is also a great work of profound significance and unparalleled collectible value. The sapphire inlaid within alone once fetched a price of 100 million Huaxia currency in the United States. The starting bid for this item is 130 million, with each increment no less than 10,000. As his voice fell, the entire hall gasped. No one had expected the auction to start with such a monumental item right off the bat. They had thought it would begin with some lower value items, but never did they imagine this. No one doubted the value of this necklace, because inlaid within it was the world's largest sapphire. This point alone made countless people desire to possess it. The socialites, both real and aspiring, couldn't sit still. Oh my God, it's actually eternal love. If someone is willing to buy this necklace for me, I'd be willing to bear his children. Hilarious. Would you not get married without a necklace? Is this something you can even dream of? You poor bastard, shut your trap. Where's the romance without money? Lin Ran frowned upon hearing this, thinking to himself, I don't have money either, but doesn't Luo Yao love me with all her heart and soul? 140 million, 170 million, 170 million and 10,000, 180 million. Quickly, the price reached 200 million. Such a top-tier luxury necklace wouldn't depreciate even if resold. The wealthy individuals present all made their bids, with one female tycoon bidding the highest. Lynn Ran was also very tempted by this necklace. He could already imagine Luo Yao wearing it, a slight smile playing on his lips. He raised his bidding paddle. 300 million. As his voice fell, the entire hall went dead silent. Wu Zhishang's eyes widened. Dude, others are raising the bid by tens or hundreds of thousands, and you just jump by 100 million, and you only have 300 million in total. Are you trying to go broke? He still has a wife to support him. Holy crap, just kill me. Uncle Fu was also astonished. He hadn't expected Lynn Ran to make a move. He was actually going to spend the young Mrs. money. This is a good thing. The auctioneer was also startled, his gavel trembling slightly. At this price, surely no one would compete, because it wasn't worth it. At least, not worth this price right now. 300 million, going once. 300 million, going twice. 300 million, going 3 times. The auctioneer brought down the gavel, sealing the deal. Sold. Congratulations to the gentleman in seat number 1 for acquiring eternal love for 300 million. May your career and love be forever entwined. To auction this necklace for 300 million was a great achievement for the auctioneer as well. From today onwards, eternal love had thoroughly solidified its position as the number 1 necklace. The entire hall was in shock, everyone looking towards Lynn Ran. This one look instantly captivated the hearts of countless socialites. Not only rich, but also so handsome. What kind of divine, wealthy young master was this? Many socialites' eyes nearly popped out of their sockets, like demons spotting Tang Sanzang, their eyes filled with greed. Lynn Ran got the necklace he wanted. Uncle Fu was about to arrange for an on-the-spot transaction, but Lynn Ran stopped him. I'll do it myself. Something for his wife. He must buy it himself. And though 300 million was a lot, Luo Yao's place in his heart was priceless. His reason for bidding 300 million in one go was also part of his plan. First, to prove that his love for Luo Yao was all-encompassing. Second, to intimidate those who were continuously raising the bids. One swift move to shut them down. Uncle Fu paused, sighing inwardly, and didn't object. It seemed his hope for young Master Lin to spend the young Mrs. money was still a bit too idealistic. Although young Master Lin might have spent a few $100,000 on starting a company, renting an office, and renovations, was a few $100,000 even considered money? It wasn't even enough for the manor's daily upkeep. Before long, Lynn Ran once again became a pauper. Holding the luxuriously packaged box, he returned to his seat, the object of envy for all women and jealousy for all men. Lynn Ran subconsciously glanced around, only then remembering that Luo Yao wasn't by his side. He scratched his head a little unnaturally. Why does it feel so strange without Luo Yao around? He really wanted to put on Luo Yao right now, but unfortunately, Luo Yao wasn't here. She was on a business trip today. At this moment, the most shocked were undoubtedly Lu Yuanmei and Lu Ruxue. They both knew Lynn Ran had 300 million, but they never imagined he would spend it all just like that. No, wait. Lu Yuanmei suddenly frowned. Lynn Ran had arrived in a sports car. He had bought a sports car. How could he still have 300 million? Could it be? The car must have been rented, just to put on a show of wealth. Thinking this, Lu Yuanmei's mood suddenly improved considerably, the corners of her mouth gradually curling into a smirk. But then she immediately remembered Lynn Ran had spent 300 million of the Lin family's money, and her heart ached again. This lowly little brat, he actually spent all the money. No, I must find a way to get this necklace back. It's Lin family property. Lu Ruxue, however, had different thoughts. She was wondering what Lynn Ran's purpose was in buying this necklace. Could it be for that woman from the Luo family? Probably not. Lynn Ran hadn't known that woman for long. How could she compare to her, his childhood sweetheart? Suddenly, seeing Lynn Ran look around after returning to his seat, Lu Ruxue froze. Could it be Brother Lynn Ran bought the necklace for me? Is he looking for me? Oh my heavens! Lu Ruxue covered her mouth, tears glistening in her eyes. She admitted it. She was moved. The auction continued, with items ranging from a few thousand or tens of thousands to millions or tens of millions. All sorts of auction items appeared one after another, but Lynn Ran didn't bid again, because he had no money left. Of course, if he liked something, he might spend Luo Yao's money to buy it. After all, spending his wife's money wasn't shameful. Towards the end, some unexpected items began to be auctioned, which finally piqued Lynn Ran's interest slightly. There were companies, plots of land, and properties. Especially that plot of land, several developers were fighting tooth and nail for it. Because land auctions, unlike item auctions, didn't require immediate full payment. Developers could pay a deposit and use the pre-auction contract to secure a loan. After obtaining the loan, they could use the land deed to get a second loan from the bank for project development. After constructing a few framework buildings, they could start pre-sales to quickly recoup funds, using a small amount of capital to leverage a large market. Although the real estate market was becoming more transparent, the profits could still be substantial if operated correctly. The Sue Ran Group's main business was real estate development. Although not a large operation, it was a legitimate real estate company, so Lynn Ran understood some of it. What interested Lynn Ran wasn't that plot of land, but several of the properties. Lynn Ran narrowed his eyes. He noticed that a few of the properties seemed to originate from the Lynn family. Lynn Ran quickly figured it out. These properties must have been sold off cheaply by Lin Tianba previously to raise money for him, and now the buyers were auctioning them off. Lynn Ran smiled, a very happy smile. Just a little longer, he thought, and I'll have the Lin family sleeping on the streets. It wasn't until 8 p.m. that the auction finally concluded, and it was time for the cocktail party and gala dinner. Lynn Ran had never attended a banquet of this caliber. Thinking that Luo Yao wasn't home and he'd have no one to keep him company if he returned, he brought Wu Zhishang to the banquet hall to broaden their horizons. Lynn Ran's appearance quickly drew a lot of attention. It couldn't be helped. He had been too extravagant today. Countless socialites were eager to make a move, and many wealthy families wanted to befriend him. When a man could casually produce 300 million in cash, even dogs would wag their tails at him. You had to understand, 300 million in cash represented far more than just a net worth of 300 million. The implications behind it were vast. Even a company with a market cap of 10 billion would need long-term preparation to free up 300 million, let alone Lynn Ran, who had spent that much just on a necklace. No sane person would liquidate all their assets just to buy a necklace. But they didn't know that Lynn Ran was precisely that insane person. Socialites flocked towards him, constantly making subtle moves, but Lynn Ran, with his sharp eyes, saw through them all and decisively extricated himself. He even mercilessly rejected their toasts and invitations to dance. Lynn Ran was certain that if he dared to dance with another woman today, both he and that woman would suffer a terrible fate tomorrow. One dead and one crippled would be the lightest outcome. Besides, how could these common, painted faces compare to his wife? Wasn't Luo Yao adorable? Wasn't she beautiful? Wasn't she fragrant? Well, even though she went crazy sometimes, the current Lynn Ran loved everything about Luo Yao, including her madness. Seeing Lynn Ran's abstinent demeanor, the socialites stomped their feet in frustration. However, some turned their attention to Wu Zhishang beside him. Someone who could hang out with such a tycoon couldn't be too shabby, even if Wu Zhishang was dressed very ordinarily. But did ordinary clothes necessarily mean an ordinary person? Just like Papa Ma, who wore a pair of old Beijing cloth shoes wherever he went. Could you say he had no money? The whole world knew he was rich. Moreover, anyone who could enter today's event had some status. Thus, some began to strike coquettish poses at Wu Zhishang. To everyone's astonishment, Wu Zhishang also mercilessly rejected them. No other reason. He couldn't betray his girlfriend. Holy SHD. I get it, they're gay buddies. Knowingly pursuing a man. So that's how it is. I knew it. How could anyone reject someone as charming as me? But if it's a matter of sexual orientation, then it makes sense. Who would have thought? Two such handsome young men, actually gay. Lynn Ran naturally heard some of the rumors. He rubbed his forehead, thinking perhaps he should offer a few words of explanation. He himself rejected women because he had a wife, but there was no good reason for Wu Zhishang to refuse. His girlfriend was no good. He had to find a way to make Wu Zhishang see reality. Judging by the current timeline, Wu Zhishang's family was about to run into trouble. This matter needed to be resolved soon. Just as Lynn Ran was pondering, Chun Qingtian approached them and politely raised her glass in greeting. I wonder if I might have the honor of getting to know you too. My friend here is a big fan of yours, Lynn Ran said, pushing Wu Zhishang forward. He'd like to invite you for a dance. Although Wu Zhishang wanted to, he looked at Lynn Ran in confusion. The two exchanged glances. Wu Zhishang, did I say that? Lynn Ran, for the sake of our reputation, make a little sacrifice. Look how beautiful Chun Qingtian is. Wu Zhishang, but I don't know how to dance. Lynn Ran, you'll learn as you go. Chin Ching Tian watched the two exchange winks and signals, smiling politely. Then it would be impolite of me to refuse. Mr. Wu, if you please. Chin Ching Tian actually wanted to get to know Lynn Ran. She wasn't coveting him. She just felt this handsome young man was special, exuding a natural sense of approachability. But since Lynn Ran had pushed Wu Zhishang forward, she wouldn't refuse. After all, Wu Zhishang's shy and inexperienced demeanor was also quite cute, making her feel a desire to tease him. Seeing that even Chin Ching Tian had been indirectly rejected by Lynn Ran, the hopes of the other socialites finally died. At the same time, they felt a little pleased. They knew they couldn't compare to Chun Qingtian's looks, temperament, or her celebrity aura. However, Lynn Ran had rejected them, and he had, in a way, rejected Chun Qingtian too. So, rounding things up, didn't that mean I equals Chun Qingtian? Thinking this, the socialites felt much better. Of course, because Lynn Ran had rejected Chun Qingtian, it did indeed deter other women who wanted to get close to him. Wu Zhishang followed Chun Qingtian to the dance floor and clumsily began to ballroom dance. Seeing Wu Zhishang's awkwardness, his clumsy movements, stiff body, and his hesitation to touch her hand, Chun Qingtian let out a pft of laughter. It's all right, Mr. Wu. Just follow my rhythm slowly. Not knowing how to dance isn't embarrassing. Place your hand here, then follow me, see? Wu Zhishang felt his heart flutter. He inwardly cursed himself as shameless for thinking about a woman other than his girlfriend. However, his body honestly followed Chun Qingtian's movements, and slowly, it didn't seem so difficult anymore. Lynn Ran watched from the side with a knowing, anti-smile. Ah, Wu Zhishang, he thought, so you're not a true sage like Lu Xiaohui after all. As for Chun Qingtian, well, she's from a powerful family, the type that could devour someone like you in minutes. But then again, he mused, isn't my relationship with Luo Yao just as much of an explosive combination in others' eyes? Perhaps anything is possible. Wu Zhishang, don't you always want to live off a woman? This soft rice won't be easy to eat. Whether you can become a second me depends on your own efforts. Just as Lynn Ran was idly watching the show, Lu Yuemei arrived, leading Lu Rushue. The moment they appeared, Lynn Ran's gaze turned cold. Stop them. Uncle Fu and his men, without a word, blocked the two outside. Lu Yuemei began to shout abuse. What are you doing? I want to see Lynn Ran. I need to discuss something with him. Bodyguard. I'm sorry. Our young master doesn't want to speak with you. Lu Yuemei, your young master. Your young master? Do you take me for a fool? Don't I know what kind of trash Lynn Ran is? Lu Rushue, beside Lu Yuemei, looked at Lynn Ran with a tender expression, but her view was quickly obstructed. Lu Rushue moved left. The person moved left. Lu Rushue moved right. The person moved right. She looked up to see an old man glaring at her with restrained anger. Lu Rushue frowned, suppressing her irritation. She didn't want to lose her persona in front of Lynn Ran, so she maintained a gentle smile. Suddenly, a furious roar made Lu Rushue jump in fright. Lu Yuemei, Lynn Ran, you ungrateful wolf. You won't even acknowledge your own mother. The entire hall instantly fell silent. Who could be so ill-mannered? Everyone turned to look, stunned. Even the people on the dance floor stopped. Only the music continued to play softly. Lu Yuemei's voice was too loud. It was impossible not to notice. Everyone stared at Lynn Ran in shock. Such a handsome and wealthy young man was actually an unfilial son? Lynn Ran certainly wasn't going to take this lying down. He shot back. You're just a goddamn mistress. What right do you have to call yourself my mother? One sentence. A critical hit. You like a shout, don't you? Let's see who's more embarrassed. Come on, let's hurt each other. Lu Yuemei stood frozen, in disbelief. She fumed for a long time, but couldn't refute it, because if someone really dug into it, she was indeed, nominally, a mistress. Uncle Fu frowned. Throw them out. Several bodyguards immediately moved to drag the two away. Lu Rushue cried out in alarm. Brother Lynn Ran, it's me, Rushue. Tell them to let go. Lu Yuemei also snapped back to reality and yelled. I am Mrs. Lynn, the wife of the chairman of Saran Group. Is your hotel just going to let this little brat act so wantonly here? Do you want my business in the future or not? Hotel staff? Have you ever spent any money here? At this moment, a strikingly beautiful woman in her early 30s walked over. She was the hotel manager. Seeing her, all the staff members greeted her. From the staff's attitude, Lu Yuemei guessed the woman's identity. Is this how your hotel treats its customers? I am Mrs. Lynn of Saran Group. Believe it or not, I can have your hotel demolished. As soon as she said this, the entire room gasped. Many people present knew of Saran Group, A small company with a market cap of only 2 or 3 billion wanted to demolish Panga Hotel. Were they delusional? Panga Hotel's estimated value exceeded 5 billion, and its owner was mysterious with extensive connections. You want to demolish their hotel? Looking again at Liu Yuanmei and Liu Rushua's attire, they increasingly resembled a nouveau riche woman leading her White Lotus daughter. Completely out of place in this setting. Look at the socialites. Which one wasn't sexy and enchanting yet maintained her composure? Which of the madams wasn't high class and sophisticated yet retained her elegance? One of you is decked out in flashy gear. The other wears an aggrieved expression. What kind of idle drama are you two acting out? Probably a mistress showing off her wealth and a daughter feigning innocence. By now, most people believed Liu Yuanmei was a mistress. Humans are sometimes such intuitive creatures. The manager also raised an eyebrow, looking at Liu Yuanmei with some surprise, thinking, where did this garishly dressed, nouveau riche country bumpkin come from? Saran Group? Not bad, not bad. Hearing the manager say this, Liu Yuanmei was overjoyed and roared at the bodyguards pulling her. Did you hear that? Let go of me immediately. Your manager has spoken. Bodyguards? Who's manager? At this point, the hotel manager continued. Your group's name is nice, but I've never heard of it. Besides, these gentlemen bodyguards are not our hotel staff, so I have no authority over them. She had originally intended to stop any trouble, but now she had changed her mind. Liu Yuanmei trembled with anger. Ever since marrying Lin Tianba, she had never suffered such humiliation. Let go of me quickly. In your hotel, you just wait. The hotel manager narrowed her eyes and said coldly, You lot, don't you see how hard these bodyguard big brothers are working? Go and help them. The staff on site had long found Liu Yuanmei and her daughter an eyesore, ever since they entered, and especially after this scene in the banquet hall. Now, they all rushed over to help. In groups of 4, they literally carried Liu Rushua and Liu Yuanmei out. No one in the room sympathized with Liu Yuanmei. Many women even wore expressions that said, serves her right, and some wished they could stomp on her a couple of times. Just a mistress. Mistresses are shameless. That explained why she had none of the refinement of a wealthy madam. There were also many wealthy madams present, and they detested mistresses the most. After Liu Yuanmei was thrown out, a staff member briefly explained today's events to the hotel manager. The manager looked at Lynn Ran incredulously. Lynn Ran represented the Luoshi group. No one dared to offend him. Even the organizers would turn a blind eye. Such a young, handsome man, representing Luoshi group. Could he be a member of the Luo family? And this handsome young man, why did he look more and more familiar? The manager was a smart woman. She quickly approached Lynn Ran. Sir, I am truly sorry for the disturbance caused. Our hotel would like to compensate you with a diamond membership card. A diamond membership, Panga Hotel's highest tier, offering the most exclusive services. When the manager said this, the entire room was shocked once more. Keep in mind, today's incident wasn't the hotel's fault, yet they were willing to apologize and offer such significant compensation. This made everyone even more curious about Lynn Ran's identity. Just the diamond membership status alone was an unattainable goal for the vast majority of people present. Lynn Ran smiled and declined. He didn't know what the manager was thinking, nor did he want to use the Luoshi group's name to gain benefits by association. Luo Yao would have to repay these favors. The manager seemed to read Lynn Ran's mind and whispered a reminder. Mr. Lin, President Luo has shares in our hotel. As her representative, the hotel naturally values you. Moreover, this membership isn't for the Luoshi group. It's a personal apology gift from me to you. You don't need to feel any pressure. Lynn Ran then understood. So, this hotel had some connection to his wife. In that case, he could reluctantly accept this membership. It was also giving his wife face. After all, Luo Yao loved giving him things. If she found out, she would probably be very happy. In that case, thank you very much. Manager, all right, sir. Would you mind telling me your full name? I'll have someone register it for you. Lynn Ran said readily. My name is Lynn Ran. The manager froze on the spot. You're Lynn Ran. The manager hurriedly took out her phone and began to search. And then, oh my God. Seeing the manager become incoherent, Lynn Ran looked puzzled. Immediately after, he saw the manager bow deeply and say, in an earth-shattering tone, Greetings, boss. This greeting made everyone's jaw drop to the floor. Lynn Ran was the owner of Pango Hotel. Never mind them. Lynn Ran's own jaw almost dropped. What did you call me? Manager, boss. You are indeed my boss. Although you've never come here before, we have your information in our system. No wonder I felt you looked so familiar when I first saw you. It turns out you're our provider, Our bread and butter. It's my fault for not recognizing you at first glance. I truly deserve to be punished. Lynn Ran looked at Fu Bo with confusion. Fu Bo nodded. The meaning was clear. Lynn Ran was indeed the owner of this hotel. Good heavens, the only 7-star hotel in all of Jingdu, and it was actually under his name? Luo Yao, just how much wealth have you prepared for me? Lin Ran's expression was awkward, but inwardly he was ecstatic. Wu Zhishang and Chun Qingtian, who were still arm in arm, stared blankly at Lin Ran. Those women who had given up on approaching Lin Ran felt a flicker of an idea reignite in their hearts. Such a handsome, wealthy, and high-status young man. How could common, unrefined women possibly be worthy of him? How could I back down just because of one rejection? No, I must press on despite the difficulties. Even if he likes men, I'll straighten him out. Lin Ran felt the strange gazes from those around him and smiled awkwardly. Actually, I didn't know either. This hotel was probably a gift from my wife. You all can go back to your work. What? This hotel was a gift from the young man's wife? Impossible, absolutely impossible. It must be his delaying tactic, trying to reject us this way. You're mistaken if you think that will work. The manager also noticed the sudden silence and quickly instructed the staff to continue their work. Gradually, the atmosphere in the venue began to warm up again. Lin Ran asked Fu Bo to escort the necklace back to the manor first, while he waited for Wu Zhishang. Fu Bo, thinking about the bodyguard still hidden outside and the potential enemies having been thrown out, agreed. Chen Qingtian gave Wu Zhishang a meaningful look. Your friend, he's really not an ordinary person. Panga Hotel, as the only 7-star hotel in Jingdu, was estimated to be worth 5 billion. The owner had always been mysterious, and unexpectedly, it was revealed today. Wu Zhishang was silent, not knowing what to say. He had only just found out too, okay? And looking at Lin Ran, it seemed even Brother Lin himself didn't know he was the owner of this hotel. Brother Lin's wife, what kind of goddess was she? Although the atmosphere had recovered, with people chatting and dancing as before, some still frequently glanced towards Lin Ran. Wu Zhishang knew it was time to leave. Because the old man by Lin Ran's side was gone, those vixens were approaching Lin Ran even more frequently. Although Lin Ran tried his best to dodge and refuse, it was clearly becoming a strain. As his brother, he couldn't let his older brother be put in a difficult position. He had to clear away these vixens for his sister-in-law. If Lin Ran got entangled with one, never mind Lin Ran, even he himself would feel Lin Ran had wronged his sister-in-law. But looking at Chun Qingtian in front of him, he felt a little reluctant. Although he couldn't betray his girlfriend, just getting to know her wouldn't be a mistake, right? Chen Qingtian saw Wu Zhishang's expression and found it amusing. Such a shy boy was a rare sight. Chen Qingtian smiled. Let's add each other as friends. Wu Zhishang was stunned. He had only wanted an autograph photo, but he hadn't expected Chen Qingtian to take the initiative to add him as a friend. He immediately nodded excitedly, took out his phone, and brought up his QR code. Scan me. Seeing Wu Zhishang's payment QR code, Chen Qingtian fell silent for a moment, then scanned it with her phone. Chen Qingtian, how much? Wu Zhishang, what how much? Chen Qingtian, how much to add you as a friend? Wu Zhishang looked at his phone screen in confusion, and his face instantly turned beet red with embarrassment. He quickly refreshed the QR code. Chen Qingtian, does refreshing the payment code get a discount? Wu Zhishang felt so embarrassed he could have dug a 3-bedroom apartment with his toes. He brought up his friend QR code again. The two happily exchanged friend details. Chen Qingtian smiled like a spring breeze. Goodbye. The moment Wu Zhishang returned, Lin Ran called out to him. You're finally back. We should go. We have classes tomorrow. Wu Zhishang. You even know about attending classes? Apart from showing up in class for a moment on the first day of school, you completely disappeared afterward, okay? The only time you went back was to the principal's office. A student like you knows about attending classes. Seeing the vixens stirring restlessly again, Wu Zhishang decisively said, Right, let's go. We have class tomorrow. The two of them fled as if a gust of wind. Lin Ran really disliked this feeling of being watched like a monkey in a zoo. If Wu Zhishang hadn't still been inside, he would have left long ago. As soon as they left, a wave of gasps erupted at the scene. I never expected it. The owner of Panga Hotel is actually that young man. He seems to be a student. What kind of background does he have? Didn't you hear him? His wife gave it to him. Maybe he's being kept. Perhaps he's even a homewrecker. You're the homewrecker. Your whole family are homewreckers. Damn, are you crazy? Even if I'm crazy, I wouldn't take your family's medicine, because your family's medicine is all sour. Half an hour earlier, Liu Ritian and Lin Jian famished, had gone to eat a bowl of beef noodles. Lu Ritien was shocked. He never would have imagined that his good nephew would only treat him to a bowl of beef noodles. Lin Jian was also helpless. The Lin family was currently in a crisis, and he had to share their hardships. If he took his uncle out for a lavish meal at this time, what would Lin Tianba think of him? When the two returned to the hotel entrance, they happened to see Lu Yuanmei and the other person being thrown out. Lu Ritien and Lin Jian were both stunned. Upon asking, they learned the whole story. Lu Yuanmei couldn't hide it even if she wanted to, because Lu Ruxue also knew. Lu Ritien, Lynn Ran actually threw you out? Where did he get the nerve? And where did he get 300 million to buy the necklace? Did Lin Tianba give it to him? It's not that I'm criticizing you, sister, but how did mom, dad, and I teach you usually? How could you let Lin Tianba give Lin Ran money? Lu Yuanmei sighed. There was no other way. She had to tell the truth. Lu Ritien's pupils quaked. What? He extorted 300 million from you. Lin Jian. Not only that, Lin Ran also wants to sell his shares. Those shares were originally supposed to belong to the Lin family. Now the Lin family is really in a difficult situation. Lu Ritien looked incredulous. He had never imagined Lin Ran possessed so many shares. He looked at Lu Yuanmei, then at Lin Jian, and finally, his gaze met his daughter Lu Ruxue's. An idea dinged in Lu Ritien's mind. He thought if Lin Ran really sold his shares, then it wouldn't be impossible to marry Ruxue to him. The premise was that Lin Ran had to take out all the money as a bride price. Otherwise, he wouldn't agree. But he still had to put on a show. Lu Ritien helped Lu Yuanmei curse Lin Ran for a long time, until a few security guards came out of the hotel and, without a word, drove them away. Only then did the few of them leave. Lin Jian found an opportunity to secretly slip a key to Lu Ruxue, whispering something to her. Lu Ruxue's eyes widened as she looked at Lin Jian in disbelief. Lin Jian nodded at him. Lu Ruxue took a deep breath. All right, I'll go. Then, Lu Yuanmei and the other two got into the car and left, leaving Lu Ruxue alone. Lu Ruxue thought for a moment and then snuck back outside the hotel. Where did Ruxue go? Lu Ritien asked, puzzled. Lin Jian. I saw her best friend just now, so I told her. She said she's going back to school with her friend. Lu Ritien snorted coldly. Oomph. She has a home, but stays at school every day. Kids these days, they really have their own ideas when they grow up. But he didn't say much more, just thinking about discussing the matter of Lin Ran with Lu Ruxue next time. Driving the car, the three of them went to the hospital together. Lin Tianba was only sick, not dead. At this time, their concern could better earn Lin Tianba's gratitude, so they planned to accompany Lin Tianba. Lin Ran and Wu Zhishang walked out of the hotel. Wu Zhishang was still in a daze. Brother Lin, are you really the owner of this hotel? Lin Ran nodded. It seems so. It was probably a gift from my wife. I only just found out myself. Wu Zhishang felt his entire worldview being assaulted. Damn, bro, look at me. Do I have the potential to be a kept man? Lin Ran glanced at Wu Zhishang. Don't you want a girlfriend anymore? Wu Zhishang looked embarrassed. Bro, I was just saying, it's not like I'm serious. But your wife is too good to you. I heard those people earlier say this hotel is valued at least 5 billion. What does your wife do? Her profession is supporting me. Damn, just kill me. This is too much to bear. Lin Ran. Seriously though, brother, do you have any plans to be kept man? Wu Zhishang. I can't betray my girlfriend. Lin Ran sighed inwardly. This Wu Zhishang, just like himself, was blind. Walking to the parking lot, both of them were stunned. They saw the valet who had previously helped Lin Ran park his car, squatting on the ground, sobbing pitifully. A few other staff members seemed to be helping him look for something. What's wrong with you? Hearing the voice, the valet quickly looked up, seeing Lin Ran. His eyes showed even more fear and avoidance. Sir, I'm sorry. I lost your car keys. Woo woo woo. The valet cried loudly, like a pathetic little simp who had been abandoned. Lin Ran's face darkened. He quickly said, if it's lost, it's lost. Don't cry in front of me like I bullied you. The valet cried even louder. Lin Ran sighed and didn't blame the valet. After all, the guy hadn't done it on purpose. It was just the car keys that were lost, not like the car had been smashed. It was no big deal. Moreover, from a certain perspective, the guy was his employee, crying so sadly. As the boss, he should be magnanimous. Stop crying. If it's lost, it's lost. I don't blame you. Just be careful next time. Saying this, he glanced at his Ferrari. He glanced again. There seemed to be something inside. Looking closely, there seemed to be a dark figure in the car. Brother, do you think there's a ghost in the car? Wu Zhishang also looked over with confusion. It seems like a person. Lin Ran walked towards the car in disbelief. opened the door with a puzzled expression, and then saw an almost completely naked woman looking at him with affection. Ugh, Lu Rushue. Without a second word, Lynn Ran slammed the car door shut with a bang and shouted loudly, "What's wrong with your hotel? What do you mean by putting a naked woman in my car? Is this to test me? What man could withstand such a test?" Lynn Ran's words were heard by everyone at the hotel entrance who was looking for the keys. They all looked over. The valet was also startled and quickly walked over to open the passenger door. He saw Lu Rushue at a glance. He had no time to appreciate Lu Rushue's body, but said angrily, "How did you get in? Did you steal my car keys?" Lu Rushue was dumbfounded. She never imagined that even after appearing in the car like this, Lynn Ran would turn a blind eye. Before doing this, she had made thorough mental preparations, thinking about having a romantic encounter with Lynn Ran in the car. But who knew Lynn Ran would directly sell her out? Not only did she fail to seduce Lynn Ran, but she also lost face. Lu Rushue immediately covered her face. The car keys were still dangling from her hand. The valet snatched the car keys and said angrily, "You thief, you almost made me lose my job." Saying this, he handed the car keys to Lynn Ran, then went to pull Lu Rushue. "You thief, get out. You've ruined me, do you know that?" Lynn Ran held the car keys, lost in thought. Were these hands still clean? Lu Rushue wouldn't have done something strange with the car keys, would she? If it was Lu Rushue, it seemed she really was capable of it. The valet tried to pull Lu Rushue out. Lu Rushue quickly grabbed the car door. "Don't talk nonsense. I found them. Brother Lynn Ran, it's me. I'm Rushue." Wu Zhishang was also greatly shocked when he heard Lu Rushue's voice. He looked at Lynn Ran and said, "Bro, you have to hold strong." Lynn Ran shot Wu Zhishang a sideways glance. He found Wu Zhishang was getting more and more cheeky. The valet pulled Lu Rushue out and slapped her across the face, yelling hysterically, "You vicious woman, why did you steal my car keys?" Lu Rushue clutched her face, looking at the valet in disbelief. "You actually hit a woman? I'm hitting you, you thief." The valet slapped her again, so hard that Lu Rushue's entire head turned 90 degrees, her gaze landing right on Lynn Ran. Seeing Lynn Ran, Lu Rushue's eyes welled up with tears. "Brother Lynn Ran, I just missed you too much. When you bought Eternal Love today, wasn't it for me? I was so touched, so I waited for you in the car." The valet was stunned. He looked at the scantily clad Lu Rushue, wearing only her underwear, then at Lynn Ran, and instantly sucked in a cold breath, saying, "Did I make a mistake again?" Lynn Ran also clutched his forehead, utterly speechless, thinking it's over, this world has completely gone mad. Lu Rushue slowly walked towards Lynn Ran, her face a picture of extreme grievance. She was wearing thin, translucent underwear, the contents within faintly visible. Lynn Ran dodged Lu Rushue's advance, completely disregarding her current state of undress. He turned to the valet and said, "Those 2 slaps just now were well done. Go find your manager and tell her to give you a bonus." Then he pointed to himself and said, "Tell him Lynn Ran said so." The valet nodded blankly, then became excited. Lynn Ran's status was clearly not simple. It was normal for him to know the manager. He never expected that not only would he not be punished for losing the keys, but he would also get a bonus, just because he had slapped this woman twice. This woman was clearly the type of bitch who would stop at nothing to seduce a man. Seeing the young master was rich, she actually stole the keys, stripped naked, and lay in his car. "All right, young master, do you need me to give her another beating for you? If she calls the police and I go to jail, I'll continue beating her when I get out." Lynn Ran looked at the carboy in surprise, thinking he's quite resourceful. "Ahem, not today, you can go back first." "All right." The carboy left happily with a few colleagues. The young master said not today, but he didn't say anything about tomorrow, the day after, or the day after that. Lu Rushue covered her face and said, "Brother Lynn Ran, if hitting me will make you feel better, then hit me. Don't you like me? I'll give myself to you today. You bought Eternal Love for me. I'm so touched." A chill ran down Lynn Ran's spine. He had a bad feeling. He leaned close to Lu Rushue, his eyes filled with killing intent, and whispered, "Scram." With that, he pushed Lu Rushue away and looked at his beloved car with heartache. When he saw the discarded clothes on the passenger seat, a wave of disgust washed over him. Could this car even be driven anymore? After a thought, he directly tossed the car keys to Wu Zhishang. "It's dirty. It's yours." Wu Zhishang caught the car keys, stunned, completely forgetting the current situation. Thank Godfather. Meanwhile, unbeknownst to Lynn Ran, a bodyguard in the shadows was frowning as he watched this scene. The bodyguard had come out from the hotel as soon as he learned Lynn Ran was going downstairs. Just as he reached the parking lot, he heard Lu Rushue's two lines. Don't you like me? I'll give myself to you today, and you bought eternal love for me. I'm so touched. Seeing Lu Rushue now, in just her underwear, a chill went down his spine. This young master was probably in for a rough time. After some thought, the bodyguard reported truthfully to Luo Yao. He had no choice. He dared not be careless with Lynn Ran's matters, much less lie, because he feared death. This was also part of his job, not only to protect Lynn Ran, but also to report his whereabouts. And Luo Yao, upon receiving the bodyguard's call, naturally went completely insane, rushing back from the old residence overnight. Lu Rushue, her allure on full display, also shivered when she met Lynn Ran's icy, murderous gaze. Coupled with her current state, she couldn't continue to embarrass herself. She now understood. Lynn Ran's necklace wasn't for her, and he had no desire to possess her even when she was naked before him. Boo-hoo, brother Lynn Ran, I hate you. She grabbed her clothes from the passenger seat and ran off. She didn't want to stay here a moment longer. All her efforts had only earned her a scram from Lynn Ran. Everything was so laughable, so realistic. She had fallen in love with Lynn Ran, but Lynn Ran no longer loved her. Wu Zhishang watched Lu Rushue run off, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Brother Lin, I've only just realized how shameless Lu Rushue actually is. Lynn Ran raised an eyebrow. You'll discover even more shameless people in the future. Wu Zhishang nodded in agreement. After all, the longer one lives, the more bizarre things one encounters. I thought there'd be actual food at the banquet tonight. I came over without eating dinner, but it was just red wine and pastries. Not even a table. Don't these rich people get tired of living like this? Lynn Ran looked at Wu Zhishang in surprise. Hey, you know what? You're right. We thought the same thing. You have no idea. I had to eat several pieces of cake just now to fill my stomach, and now I'm getting acid reflux. The two exchanged a smile. The lives of the rich are truly simple and unadorned. Agreed. Lynn Ran turned and walked back towards the hotel. Wu Zhishang asked in confusion, Where are you going? You're really not leaving. Lynn Ran waved his hand. No way. Lu Rushue was in there. Just thinking about it makes my skin crawl. But you, brother, don't you mind it? Wu Zhishang held the keys in his hand, deeply moved. How could he mind? He now kind of liked Lu Rushue. Internal thought. Maybe you should try sneaking into Lynn Ran's garage. The two parted ways. Lynn Ran didn't want to take the Ferrari again and returned to the hotel to have them prepare a car to take him back. The hotel manager offered to drive him personally, but was refused by Lynn Ran. Even though you look like you're in your 30s, you're still a woman. He was afraid Luo Yao would misunderstand, although she might have already. Help me get the parking lot surveillance footage and send it to me. As for the ride, let that car boy drive me. The manager immediately made arrangements. Soon, the car boy from before, who had been crying, drove up in a Mercedes commercial vehicle. Lynn Ran didn't mind. In the car. Bro, next time I see that woman, I'll help you slap the hell out of her. Lynn Ran, better make sure both sides of her face are even. If you get arrested, come find me directly. I'll bail you out. All right, bro. Entering the manor, the car boy was completely shocked. What kind of grand estate was this? He had driven a few rich people home before. Some lived in mansions, others in villas. But he had never even heard of someone living in a manor, let alone seen one. It was inhumanly extravagant. Bro, this place is huge. If I weren't driving, I'd probably get lost. Lynn Ran. Then you'd better not get lost. Why? Because there are crocodiles here. Car boy. And tigers. Car boy. And snow leopards. Car boy. Bro, I'll try my best not to get lost. Lynn Ran smiled. Don't worry, I'm just teasing you. Those things are all caged up, with dedicated people watching them. They won't get out. Car boy. Bro, I'm just saying, hypothetically, what if one of them secretly escaped? Lynn Ran. I'll arrange a grand funeral for you. Following Lynn Ran's directions, the car drove for a while longer within the manor before reaching the central villa. The car boy was buzzing with excitement. After getting out, the car boy drove back. Lynn Ran walked to the villa entrance, just about to go in. Meow, meow, meow. The cat's cry was eerie, as if warning Lynn Ran not to go in. Lynn Ran turned his head. Wasn't this the black cat that had appeared late at night when he was stargazing with Luo Yao in the Sky Garden last time? He had noticed something was off last time, and now he was even more certain. This cat's eyes were very expressive. It was as if its eyes could speak. Just as Lynn Ran was about to pet it, the little black cat took a step back. When Lynn Ran stepped forward, it retreated again. Meow, are you hungry? The little black cat shot him a look as if he were an idiot. Meow. It turned and disappeared into the night sky. Lynn Ran stood there, stunned. That cat just now seemed to curse at him, but he had no proof. Shaking his head, Lynn Ran was amused by his own thoughts and slowly walked into the villa. Upon entering, butler Fubo came to greet him. "Young Master Lynn, please go to your bedroom and rest." Lynn Ran, "I'll eat something before going in. I only had a few pieces of cake at the banquet today." Fubo arranged for someone to prepare a late-night snack. Lynn Ran felt Fubo's expression was a bit strange, but he didn't think much of it. Lynn Ran didn't notice that as soon as he entered, Fubo quietly locked the villa door from the inside. After eating some snacks, Lynn Ran finally felt a bit better, and the acid reflux in his stomach subsided. Content, he walked back to his bedroom, taking the Eternal Love necklace with him. Shower, sleep, think about his wife. Lying in bed, Lynn Ran sent a message. "Missing you." He waited for a long time, but there was no reply. Lynn Ran sent another message. "Good night." He waited again for a long time, still no reply. Lynn Ran couldn't help but let his imagination run wild, wondering if Luo Yao was asleep or still working. He tossed and turned, unable to sleep. He got up and took out the necklace, looking at it from left to right, imagining how beautiful Luo Yao would look wearing it. He wondered if he was becoming a bit love-struck. Meow. Just as Lynn Ran was fantasizing about Luo Yao wearing the necklace, a faint meow came from outside. Lynn Ran got up and went to the window, where he saw the black cat on the windowsill, staring at him. Lynn Ran was startled by those blue eyes, but quickly composed himself, squatting by the window and looking at the black cat through the glass. "Little fellow, are you hungry?" Meow. Damn it, Lynn Ran was sure now there was definitely something wrong with this cat. Its eyes could curse people. Meow. Fuck. Meow. If you don't leave, you won't be a cat anymore. Meow. With a final meow, the black cat left. Lynn Ran didn't know why there was a cat, or why it was appearing so frequently today. He found a chance to ask Luo Yao. It was probably a cat from the manor. Back in bed, he scrolled through his phone. Luo Yao still hadn't replied. So Lynn Ran tried to coax himself to sleep and slowly drifted off. Outside the bedroom door, the butler sighed and locked the bedroom door from the outside. Tonight, the young miss had instructed that Lynn Ran must be locked up, waiting for her return. Her tone sounded very angry, extremely angry. It was the kind of tone that sounded like she wanted to kill someone. He didn't know what mistake young Master Lin had made this time. Could it be something young Master Lin did on the way back while he was escorting the necklace? For such a small mistake, he wondered if the young miss would forgive him. Young Master Lin, why can't you just be a little more obedient and listen to the young miss? Isn't the young miss good to you? Isn't it nice to be the young Mrs. Golden Canary? When you make mistakes, it's often us old folks who get implicated. Why make things difficult for us old people? Late at night, as Lynn Ran slept, he kept feeling like he was hearing a cat's meow from time to time. It was incredibly annoying. He didn't know how much time had passed, but Lynn Ran finally couldn't take it anymore. He got up, intending to teach it a lesson. Just as he reached the window, he heard a miserable cry from the cat, and then the black cat ran off again. It was at this very moment that the bedroom door was kicked open with a bang. Lynn Ran jumped, startled. He turned to see Luo Yao's figure, cast in an extraordinarily sinister light by the dim glow from outside the door. "Luo Yao, why are you back so late?" Luo Yao walked towards Lynn Ran step by step. When his vision cleared a little, he realized that Luo Yao's eyes seemed to be filled with despair. A chill ran down Lynn Ran's spine. That look? This was bad. "Yao Yao, listen to me." Before Lynn Ran could speak, Luo Yao leaped up, a cold glint of a dagger in her hand aimed straight at Lynn Ran's heart. Her figure magnified in Lynn Ran's pupils. Poochie. As the dagger neared Lynn Ran's heart, Luo Yao couldn't help but alter her movement, and the dagger plunged into Lynn Ran's shoulder instead. Ugh! Lynn Ran cried out in pain. That was close. He almost died. He wasn't afraid of death, but he wanted to avenge himself before dying. He wasn't afraid of Luo Yao either, but he was afraid that after he died, Luo Yao would have no one to love her. He was even more afraid that if Luo Yao discovered it was all a misunderstanding after his death, she would completely break down and die with him. So to sum it up, Lynn Ran was afraid of dying. "Yao Yao, you," Luo Yao roared. "Why did you lie to me? Why can't you just be good and stay by my side?" Luo Yao cried, tears falling like a bursting dam, her whole demeanor hysterical. She now understood that Lynn Ran's obedience during this period had all been a facade. He had truly been deceiving her all along. She had clearly tried to trust Lynn Ran. So why did he still lie to her? This feeling of being first deceived and then betrayed was suffocating Luo Yao. If not for a lingering conviction, Luo Yao would have really killed Lynn Ran just now. But in the end, she couldn't bring herself to do it. She hated her weakness at this moment, and she hated Lynn Ran's deception. Why did you lie to me? Why? Why? Since she couldn't bring herself to kill him, then let Lynn Ran live forever in the golden cage she wove. Ran, you have no freedom anymore. Lynn Ran, enduring excruciating pain and struggling to breathe, still managed to force a smile. He didn't want Luo Yao to bear any psychological burden. Yao Yao, I have always been good. Luo Yao, you still dare to lie to me. Suddenly, Luo Yao couldn't continue speaking because she saw Lynn Ran holding up a necklace. This is for you. You're tired. Rest. Rest for a bit. Luo Yao stood there, stunned, taking 2 steps back. She saw the beautiful sapphire in the middle of the necklace and slowly took it. The necklace was already stained with Lynn Ran's blood, but the warmth of the sapphire reminded Luo Yao that Lynn Ran might have been clutching this necklace in his hand the whole time. She recognized it at a glance as eternal love. She had seen it in a fashion magazine. At the time, she had even fantasized that one day Lynn Ran would put such a necklace on her. But hadn't this necklace been given to Lu Rushue? Could it be? Luo Yao thought of a possibility. If that was the case, then she herself? Lynn Ran held his phone up in front of Luo Yao. This is the truth. You want it. After saying this, Lynn Ran slid to the floor, gasping heavily. He knew Luo Yao must have misunderstood. He had specifically asked the hotel for the surveillance footage from the entrance before leaving. That was close. I must be more careful in the future. This kind of misunderstanding must be avoided. It's truly life-threatening. Luo Yao took the phone. The surveillance footage was a few clips Lynn Ran had edited. Luo Yao saw Lin Jian steal the car boy's keys. She saw Lu Rushue get into the car by herself, and she saw Lynn Ran's reaction. At the same time, she also understood why the bodyguard's report had been mistaken. So, all of this was really a coincidence? Luo Yao felt a sharp pain in her heart. She suddenly clutched her chest. Even breathing felt wrong. She had made a mistake again. Her fingers rose, slowly caressing Lynn Ran's wound. Does it hurt? Lynn Ran nodded. Very much. But seeing you like this, my heart hurts even more. Luo Yao collapsed to the ground, shaking her head ceaselessly. I'm sorry. I made a mistake again. Will you stop liking Yao Yao? Lynn Ran, having regained some strength, slowly reached out and gently wiped away Luo Yao's tears. Don't cry. I don't like seeing Yao Yao with a tear-streaked face. Remember the question you asked me after you got me drunk last time? No matter what you do to me, I will never blame you. That statement is always valid. Luo Yao choked back her flowing tears. She wasn't one to cry, but all her tears were because of Lynn Ran. I was wrong. Ran, don't leave me, I beg you. Lynn Ran's wound throbbed, but his heart ached more. Just how insecure must a love be to become so subservient and extreme? But on closer reflection, what mistake had Luo Yao made? You did nothing wrong. You're just the guardian of our love. Your love is fiery and dangerous, but I hope you never stop, because that is also what my heart desires. Luo Yao felt an inexplicable throbbing in her chest, as if someone were punching it repeatedly. I'll call a doctor for you. Lynn Ran, clutching the eternal love necklace, said, Right now, I just want to put this on you with my own hands. Luo Yao hated herself for going mad without understanding the situation, hurting not only herself, but also Lynn Ran. Yet, Lynn Ran didn't resent her at all and was still so good to her. Luo Yao's tears, unbidden, streamed down again. Gently, slowly, Lynn Ran placed eternal love around Luo Yao's neck and managed to smile. It's beautiful. Miss Luo Yao, are you willing to take care of me for a lifetime? Luo Yao finally broke into a tearful smile, tears scattering from her eyelashes. I am. Lynn Ran smiled, and as he smiled, he fainted. Luo Yao gently helped Lynn Ran onto the bed and called the manor's private doctor. Soon the old butler arrived and looked at Lynn Ran on the bed, sighing repeatedly but daring not to say anything. Luo Yao said, I misunderstood Ran. I'm sorry to him. The old butler already knew the whole story and felt sorrow for his own lapse in duty. Miss, it's all my fault. I should have made things clear to you immediately. Of course, he was to blame. If he hadn't left early, if he hadn't asked Luo Yao for the reason as soon as she returned, perhaps none of these misunderstandings would have occurred. So he blamed himself deeply. But the bodyguard kneeling on the floor felt even more self-reproach, even fear. He was the crucial link in this misunderstanding, having relayed the wrong information to Luo Yao. He awaited Luo Yao's punishment. Seeing Lynn Ran's still pained expression even in unconsciousness, Luo Yao felt her heart grow increasingly distressed, increasingly uncontrollable. These people had certainly made mistakes, but the one most at fault was actually herself. Her gaze began to lose focus, then sharpened again, turning crimson bit by bit. Go! Luo Yao silently walked out of the bedroom and headed towards the secret room. The bodyguard rose and followed, his hands trembling as he unlocked the door to the secret room. With a bang, she kicked open the door to the secret room. Inside, in a transparent glass cage in the center, lay a man on the verge of death. The man's nose was gone, one eye socket was empty, and his other eye was infected, but he wasn't dead yet. Many rats scurried around inside. The man sensed someone's arrival. His mouth twitched open, but no sound came out. Luo Yao walked to a nearby rack and picked up an instrument of torture, the kind used to pry open a person's mouth. A glance from her, and the bodyguard, after a moment's hesitation, took the instrument, put on a mask and gloves, and opened the cage door. At this moment, the bodyguard was incredibly grateful that there was a tool here for Luo Yao to vent her anger on. Once inside, he fitted the instrument onto the man, then grabbed a rat and stuffed it in. Then a second, a third. Ugh, ugh. The man struggled, contorted, but to no avail. Tears trickled from the corners of his eyes. Luo Yao watched silently, without saying a word. It seemed only by torturing the man before her could her psychological pressure find some release. After a while, Luo Yao slowly walked over to a side table, picked up a glass jar, and stuffed something into it. Inside were 2 eyeballs. Luo Yao poured some liquid in to prevent them from rotting. She placed the jar so it directly faced the man undergoing torture until the man was full. The old bastard's eyeballs. This is the consequence for him spying on Ran. The man in the cage twitched feebly, having lost count of how many rats he had ingested. He had no strength left to speak. But hearing Luo Yao's words, his remaining pupil still dilated slightly in disbelief. Another glance from Luo Yao, and the bodyguard, without a word, sealed the man's mouth with tape. All that remained was a painful death. Luo Yao dismissed the bodyguard and sat alone, staring blankly. Then, she took out a dagger and thrust it towards her own shoulder. Just as the dagger was about to pierce through, Luo Yao suddenly stopped. Ran said I shouldn't hurt myself. He would feel pain. She touched the necklace on her neck, still stained with Lynn Ran's dried blood. Only after long, while did she walk out of the secret room. Returning to the room, Lynn Ran's shoulder wound had been bandaged, but he hadn't woken up yet. Luo Yao's cold gaze fell upon the doctor, who hadn't left. A chill ran down the doctor's spine, and he hurriedly explained, "Mr. Lynn is only temporarily unconscious due to blood loss and pain. There's nothing seriously wrong with his body. He'll wake up soon." Luo Yao's eyes were vacant. "Ran, are you in much pain? All of you get out." Everyone scrambled out of the bedroom. Luo Yao slowly took Lynn Ran's hand. "Ran, are you in pain?" Lynn Ran didn't speak. "Ran, look at me, okay? Do you still like Yao Yao?" Lynn Ran still didn't speak. "Ran, how about I let you go?" "Ugh, no, good." Luo Yao was startled, wondering if she was hearing things. She looked down, and Lynn Ran slowly opened his eyes. "If you don't want me, then no one will." For the first time, Luo Yao knew what excitement felt like, seeing Lynn Ran's usual smile return. She nodded heavily. "Of course, I was just teasing you. I would never let you go. You can only belong to me." Lynn Ran extended his palm. Luo Yao looked at it, puzzled, but obediently rested her chin on it. "Lynn Ran, you're like a little kitten right now." Luo Yao, "Then I'll be your little kitten. As long as you don't leave me, I'll be anything." "A kitten?" Lynn Ran remembered that cat that could curse. Next time he saw it, he'd definitely catch it and give it a good petting. "It's almost dawn. You should sleep too, or you'll have no energy during the day." Luo Yao shook her head. "I'm not going to work. I'll stay with you." Although Lynn Ran was injured, it didn't stop him from sharing a bed with Luo Yao. Luo Yao climbed onto the bed, lying on the sheets stained red with Lynn Ran's blood. The two were like a tomb for lovers who had died in a suicide pact, bound together in life and death. Until dawn, Lynn Ran experienced the feeling of being weighted on hand and foot. Luo Yao personally helped Lynn Ran wash up. Returning to the bedroom, Lynn Ran saw the bodyguard kneeling there, and Fu Bo, head bowed, silent. Lynn Ran immediately understood the reason and quickly said, "Fu Bo, I'm hungry. Prepare something to eat. And this big brother, thank you for your hard work protecting me recently." Lynn Ran knew Luo Yao would definitely have someone watch him. Today he finally met the person in the flesh. Fu Bo quickly agreed, "All right, I'll have someone prepare it right away." Lynn Ran's seemingly casual words were actually giving Fu Bo an out, and the shrewd old Fu Bo naturally understood. The bodyguard, however, took a deep breath and kowtowed to Lynn Ran. Lynn Ran wanted to help him up, but stopped. Get up. This is New China. We don't do that feudal class stuff. What's your name? The bodyguard stood up and said, My name is Wang Bao. Young Master Lin, I'm sorry. It was my reporting error yesterday that caused your injury. Lin Ran smiled and said, Very good, Brother Wang. From now on, you'll stay by my side, not in the shadows. That way, such mistakes won't happen again. Wang Bao looked up, shocked. I can still stay by your side. One had to know, the most lucrative job in the entire security system was monitoring Lin Ran. Lin Ran nodded. Of course you can. Right, Yao Yao? Wang Bao looked at Luo Yao. Luo Yao was inwardly delighted. Lin Ran's meaning was clear. She could openly conduct real-time surveillance. Since our Ran doesn't want to punish you, I naturally agree. But remember, protect our Ran well. If our Ran loses even a single hair, I'll hold you accountable. Wang Bao nodded heavily. Rest assured, young miss. If young Master Lin loses even a single strand of hair, I will take my own life to atone. Saying this, he bowed deeply to Lin Ran again. Young Master Lin, I, Wang Bao, am not good with words. I can never repay this great kindness. Please judge me by my actions in the future. After the bodyguard left, Lin Ran asked Luo Yao, You're not angry that I handled it this way, are you? Luo Yao, how could I be? You're our Ran. You naturally have the final say in family matters. Whatever you decide is right. Lin Ran, then it's settled. But I haven't punished you yet. Luo Yao suddenly felt a pang of distress again. I'm sorry. Lin Ran quickly interrupted. No, I didn't say I blame you. I just want to punish you. That's not too much to ask, is it? Luo Yao raised her watery, large eyes. Okay, then our Ran, you can punish me. Lin Ran, all right. Wait until my injury heals. I definitely won't let you off, you little vixen. Injured, he no longer had to go to school or the company, and his excuse was perfectly legitimate. Luo Yao also stopped going to the company. Her team of assistants was directly invited to work at the manor. Luo Yao stayed in the bedroom with Lin Ran. When it was time to eat, Luo Yao fed Lin Ran mouthful by mouthful. When it was time to go to the bathroom, Luo Yao helped support him. When it was work time, Luo Yao told them all to get lost. Lu Meng frequently shook her head and sighed. This Lin Ran was truly a male disaster capable of ruining a country. She tried her best to do most of Luo Yao's work, but there was one very important document that Luo Yao had to handle. When she came to the bedroom again, she saw their usually ice-cold boss feeding Lin Ran mouthful by mouthful. Lu Meng was completely dumbfounded. Lin Ran, Assistant Lu has work for you. Handle it first. Don't let pleasure sap your will. Luo Yao, you are my ambition and also my plaything. However, since Lin Ran had spoken, Luo Yao casually dealt with the document. Lu Meng's entire worldview was collapsing. Fine. So this is how you two play, huh? Then in the future, if there's something important, would it be more convenient to just tell Lin Ran directly? Lu Meng was frightened by her own thought, but after careful consideration, she felt it was unrealistic. If she got even a little closer to Lin Ran, she'd probably be truly close to death. However, at critical moments, she could still ask Lin Ran for help. 3 days passed like this. The assistant team also stayed at the manor for 3 whole days. Now, the entire team was exclaiming, The king henceforth neglects his court. Today, Luo Yao returned to the company with her assistant team and was immediately met with a very busy workload. After all, she hadn't been to the company for several days, an unannounced absence, and many backlogged meetings and negotiations needed handling. Lin Ran had also mostly recovered and planned to go to the company to see Luo Yao. Since his injury hadn't fully healed, a driver took him out, with Wang Bao openly accompanying him. Arriving at the company, Lin Ran found Wu Zhishang was also there. The company had now hired a few staff members, including a cleaner. You're not in class today? Wu Zhishang looked at Lin Ran as if he were an idiot. Bro, we're seniors now. We should focus on our careers. I have enough credits, and I don't plan on graduate school. What classes are there to attend? Lin Ran exclaimed, Awesome. Where's Zhang Xiaolong? Wu Zhishang, can't reach him. What? Then Wu Zhishang explained the situation. Zhang Xiaolong had been unreachable since yesterday. Because of this, their fledgling live streaming room had been suspended for a day. If Zhang Xiaolong didn't show up today, Wu Zhishang planned to substitute broadcast himself. Lin Ran found Zhang Xiaolong's employment records and called his sister. No one answered. After thinking, he called his family, specifically his father. The call connected, and the tone on the other end was quite aggressive. "Who is it?" Lynn Ran. "I'm looking for Zhang Xiaolong." The person on the other end yelled, "I don't know any Zhang Xiaolong. You've got the wrong number." Before they could hang up, Lynn Ran heard a plea for help from the phone, muffled cries. "Please, sister." Lynn Ran vaguely sensed something was wrong. When he tried calling again, it went straight to a rejected call status. Lynn Ran was stunned. Zhang Xiaolong was now his employee, and he didn't know if his rebirth had changed Zhang Xiaolong's previous trajectory. So without a second thought, he took out his phone and contacted Luo Yao. "Luo Yao, what is it? Does our Ran miss me?" Lynn Ran said, a bit anxiously, "I miss you, but I have something urgent right now. Help me find someone, one of my employees." Luo Yao's wary voice came through. "Man or woman?" "A man named Zhang Xiaolong." There was a moment of silence on the other end. Then she asked, "You've been getting quite close to Wu Zhishang lately, and now it's Zhang Xiaolong. Our Ran doesn't like men, does he?" Lynn Ran was taken aback and quickly retorted, "Who I like? Don't you know that clearly?" Luo Yao agreed to help Lynn Ran find him. After a short while, she sent a message. "No, 38, second lane, Jiaodong Road. If you want to see your employee again, you'd better hurry." Without a word, Lynn Ran got into the Rolls-Royce with Wu Zhishang. Wu Zhishang exclaimed, "It really has to be you, brother Lin. You change luxury cars like they're toy cars." Lynn Ran. "If you could get Chin Chin Tian, you could too. The money she earns from a single drama is enough to buy several of these." Wu Zhishang blushed, but still replied, "What are you talking about? I would never betray my girlfriend. Besides, who is Chin Chin Tian? How could she possibly be interested in me?" Lynn Ran. "You never know. I never thought I'd see a day like this either." Wu Zhishang. The car quickly arrived at Jiaodong Road. This place lacked the prosperity of the city. Instead, it was a dirty, messy, and dilapidated old alleyway, inhabited by migrant workers from all corners of the country. Number 38 was in a very narrow lane. Lynn Ran and Wu Zhishang walked in front, with Wang Bao following behind. Arriving outside number 38, they found a place resembling a small warehouse. There was no courtyard, and the windows were so dirty you couldn't see anything inside. Just as Lynn Ran was about to knock, he heard a commotion from within. "Dad, I beg you, please don't give my sister away. Whatever money you need, I'll work hard to get it for you." Inside the room, Zhang Dehai slapped Zhang Xiaolong to the ground. "Damn it, why did I father two money losers like you? My legs are broken, and you two didn't even bother to come back and see me. I had to have someone fetch you back. Boss Wang will be here soon. This girl is being sent away today no matter what." Mingled with the faint sound of a girl crying was a strange, inexplicable laugh. Without a second thought, Lynn Ran kicked the door. Bang! The door didn't budge an inch. Lynn Ran awkwardly scratched his head and looked at Wang Bao beside him. Wang Bao also felt like laughing, but managed to suppress it. "Young Master Lin, let me." Lynn Ran nodded. Wang Bao kicked the door open with one strike. Inside, a man in a wheelchair looked furiously at the kicked-open door and cursed. "Who the hell dares to kick my door?" Then he saw two young men and a burly man walk in. Upon entering, Lynn Ran was stunned, Wu Zhishang was stunned, and Wang Bao was stunned. Lynn Ran admitted he had underestimated human nature, and even more so, the depravity of scumbag. He hadn't understood at first how Zhang Xiaolong, a young man, could be controlled by his own father. Now he saw there were four people in the room. Zhang Dehai, in the wheelchair. Huh. Lynn Ran recognized this person. Wasn't this the underling who had his legs broken for selling goods at Dao Ji's casino last time? In his previous life, it was also him who betrayed Wei Xiong, leading to Wu Zhishang losing his legs. What a coincidence! Beside Zhang Dehai, there was Zhang Xiaolong, kneeling on the ground. Seeing Lynn Ran, Zhang Xiaolong looked shocked, then a look of joyful relief spread across his face. He knew he was saved. Apart from them, a middle-aged woman with deep-set eyes, as thin as a rail, was chained to an iron pipe, squatting on the ground, inhaling something. As she inhaled, she giggled foolishly. The last person was a rather frail-looking young girl, probably 4 or 5 years younger than himself, with quite delicate features. She was also chained to the same iron pipe, her eyes lifeless and full of despair. It was hard to imagine such a youthful, pretty face wearing such an expression. The two women were like two slaves. Zhang Dehai clearly recognized Lynn Ran too. Last time, Lynn Ran had been with Dao Ge, so he was likely Dao Ji's guest. He pointed at Lynn Ran, stammering, You, for several moments without forming a complete sentence. Zhang Xiaolong immediately turned his head and kowtowed to Lynn Ran. "Boss, save my sister. Please, save my sister. I'll work like an ox and a horse to repay you." Zhang Dehai laughed. So you're a boss. Well, that makes it easy. As long as your offer is higher than Boss Wong's, this little girl is yours. Lynn Ran narrowed his eyes and took a deep breath. In his mind, Zhang Dehai was on par with Lin Tianba. Both were scumbag dads. And he wanted to sell his daughter? Where are the keys? Zhang Dehai chuckled. Show me the money, and the keys will naturally be yours. Without a word, Lynn Ran kicked Zhang Dehai over. He couldn't kick down a door, but he could certainly knock over a disabled man. Couldn't he? Zhang Dehai, wheelchair and all, toppled to the ground. Kid, I don't care who you are. Messing with me, Zhang Dehai, you've picked the wrong fight. Just then, a pot-bellied middle-aged man, leading two young thugs, appeared at the doorway. I say, Zhang Dehai, what's going on here? Didn't you tell me to come pick up the goods? Zhang Dehai immediately said, Boss Wong, don't misunderstand. I don't know where these people came from. Give me the money, and this little girl is yours. Boss Wong looked at the girl inside with a lecherous smile. He had been wanting to get his hands on Zhang Xiaowan for a long time, so he had been manipulating Zhang Dehai, and finally, the opportunity had come. Boss Wong walked into the room, threw a black plastic bag full of money in front of Zhang Dehai, and strode towards Zhang Xiaowan, completely ignoring Lynn Ran and his two companions. Zhang Dehai, still on the floor, didn't even bother to get up. He tore open the plastic bag and started counting the money. Boss Wong, I owe. Xiaowan, what's wrong? Come with Uncle Wong. Uncle Wong will dote on you. Uncle Wong's bed is big and warm. Zhang Xiaowan's eyes were filled with utter despair. She had already decided she would find a chance to kill herself. She absolutely could not let herself be defiled. You lot, ignoring me right in front of my face. Do you not take me seriously? Boss Wong and Zhang Dehai both looked at Lynn Ran. Zhang Dehai couldn't help but burst out laughing. Huh, kid, do you know who Boss Wong is? He's the kingpin of Jiaodong Road. Boss Wong looked at the two young men, Lynn Ran and his companion, and the burly man behind them with a disdainful smirk. Get rid of them. At his command, the two thugs Boss Wong had brought with him moved to act. They were professional thugs who made a living following Boss Wong, and over the years, they had committed many misdeeds. The neighbors dared to be angry, but not to speak out. Lynn Ran thought to himself, an old lecher like you, with such grand and depraved ideas. Lynn Ran stepped outside, took out a cigarette, lit it, and took a deep drag. Brother Wong, I'll have a smoke. Wong Bao understood. Young Master Lin was giving him only the time it took to smoke a cigarette to deal with everyone in the room. Wong Bao intercepted the two thugs. Then a series of thump sounds, the thud of fists meeting flesh, echoed continuously. Lin Ran leaned against the wall and took another deep drag. Cough, cough, cough. Wu Zhishang, Brother Lin, if you can't smoke, why pretend? Lin Ran laughed and cursed. You damn well know I'm faking it, and you still call me out? Wu Zhishang, brother, that big guy you brought, is he any good? Lin Ran made a gesture and said, Listen, is there any noise from inside anymore? Wu Zhishang was taken aback. That fast? Just as he finished speaking, Wang Bao's voice came through. Young Master Lin, all taken care of. Lin Ran walked into the room, surprised. Good heavens, apart from the two women and Zhang Xiaolong, everyone else was lying on the ground. Lin Ran said with a smile, Not bad, Brother Wong. Wang Bao scratched his head. Young Master Lin, you flatter me. Wu Zhishang, while looking at Wang Bao with admiration, went to help Zhang Xiaolong up. Zhang Xiaolong was also quite badly beaten by his father. Lin Ran threw away the remaining half of a cigarette and went over to help Zhang Xiaowan up. As for the foolishly laughing woman, no one paid her any mind. Zhang Xiaowan looked at Lin Ran in shock. She had imagined many possibilities, but never that someone would come to rescue them. Zhang Xiaolong stood up, grabbed Lin Ran's hand, and said, Thank you, boss, thank you. I'll never forget your great kindness. I don't know how I can ever repay you. Lin Ran thought to himself, Why does this line sound so familiar? Zhang Xiaolong, what about them? We've beaten them up like this. Will we get into trouble? Boss Wong is very influential around here. Lin Ran smiled. It's fine. When it comes to influence, I'm not afraid. With that, he sent a message to Luo Yao. Soon, Luo Yao dispatched professionals. First, Su Kai arrived with two assistants. When they learned about the situation, their eyes widened in righteous indignation, and they swore to seek justice for Zhang Xiaolong and his sister. A little later, the uncle police officers, also arrived and took away Zhang Dehai and Boss Wong. However, the woman was still chained up. Zhang Dehai hadn't woken up, and they didn't know where the key was. Zhang Xiaolong fell silent for a moment. Even if he knew, he wouldn't hand it over. I know him. Knowing he's been caught, he'd rather go down fighting. Otherwise, I would have beaten him up long ago and forced him to hand over the key. Lin Ran patted Zhang Xiaolong's shoulder. Easy, leave it to me. He gave some instructions to Wu Zhishang, and soon Wu Zhishang returned with a locksmith. The locksmith was quite startled when he saw the scene, but he didn't say anything, especially since the police were present. Looking at the two locks, he realized it would be a bit difficult. They weren't ordinary locks. After some thought, he directly took out his tools and carefully began to dismantle them physically. He started with Zhang Xiaowan's lock. Zhang Xiaowan had been in her school dormitory when someone told her her family was looking for her. She thought it was her brother, but to her surprise, it was her wheelchair-bound father and two thugs. Zhang Xiaowan resisted going with her father, so he had the two thugs drug her. They had come prepared. When she woke up, she found herself imprisoned. Zhang Xiaowan's world collapsed. She knew her life was over. But unexpectedly, just as she was about to be sold, a man, like a savior, descended from the heavens on a seven-colored auspicious cloud and rescued her in a few swift moves. At this moment, Zhang Xiaowan threw herself into Zhang Xiaolong's arms, sobbing. Zhang Xiaolong gently patted his sister's back, comforting her. After crying for a while, Zhang Xiaowan secretly glanced at Lynn Ran. Then, after some thought, walked over to him. Thank you, Senior Lynn Ran. Lynn Ran and Wu Zhishang were floored. Lynn Ran said, You're from Jing University? Lynn Ran only knew Zhang Xiaowan was starting university this year. He didn't know she was at Jing University. In that case, couldn't he directly recruit Zhang Xiaowan to his company to develop alongside her brother? On second thought, her study should come first. Zhang Xiaowan, yes, thank you for saving me. Wu Zhishang, we both saved you, but you only thank one person? Zhang Xiaowan quickly shook her head nervously. No, that's not it. I thank you too, and this big brother. I really thank all of you. If it weren't for you, my life would have been ruined. The lock on Zhang Xiaolong's mother was also opened. The police took her away directly, along with the two thugs on the ground. With such a major incident, Zhang Xiaolong and Zhang Xiaowan were naturally taken for questioning. Finally, Su Kai reassured Lin Ran, saying that if he didn't send these people to prison for life, he'd quit being a lawyer. Having resolved this matter, Lin Ran was also very happy. Helping Zhang Xiaolong was only one reason. More importantly, he had directly dealt with Zhang Dehai, thus avenging Wu Zhishang from his previous life. The two returned to the company. Wu Zhishang invited Lin Ran to his house for the weekend. Lin Ran didn't want to go, but after hearing the reason, he thought about it and agreed. This busyness caused him to miss the time to pick up Luo Yao, so Lin Ran could only go directly back to the manor. Inside the manor, Luo Yao's expression was a bit off because Lin Ran had promised to pick her up but ended up breaking his word. Although Lin Ran had explained on the phone, she was still unhappy. It wasn't until she saw Lin Ran walk into the villa that a slight smile appeared on her face. Luo Yao's love for Lin Ran wasn't just possessiveness. She wanted to cling to Lin Ran at all times, everywhere, wishing she could practically hang on him. She wanted Lin Ran's eyes to be only on her, no one else, not even other men. So, considering their past interactions, Luo Yao had been quite restrained. The doctor changed Lin Ran's dressing, advising him to rest more, saying the wound had already healed and that for the next few days, he just needed to disinfect and apply medicine on time. Lin Ran thought to himself that it was healing quite quickly. It seemed his physical constitution was pretty good. After the doctor left, it was Lin Ran and Luo Yao's favorite time of the day, their time alone together. In the villa, even the entire manor was like nothing in Luo Yao's eyes. Only Lin Ran was vivid and real to her. As long as Luo Yao wished, she could have him anywhere. That was Luo Yao. After dinner, the two went to the Sky Garden to chat. Men get thirsty after exercise. Lin Ran held a glass of water, sipping it slowly. Luo Yao. Ran, was that Zhang Xiaowan pretty today? Lin Ran sputtered out the water he had just sipped. Not pretty at all. Compared to Yao Yao, she's nothing. Luo Yao. So you did look at her? Lin Ran was taken aback. No. Then on what basis do you say she's not as pretty as me? Because in this world, there's no one prettier than my Yao Yao. Luo Yao was somewhat satisfied with this answer. Ran, remember this. Don't think about other women, or I'll make you regret it. Lin Ran pulled Luo Yao into his embrace. I'll only think of you. I'm right here with you. What are you worried about? Luo Yao felt very comfortable nestled in Lin Ran's arms, one hand holding Lin Ran's, the other stroking his leg. Lin Ran gazed up at the starry sky, feeling the beauty in his arms, and sighed at how wonderful the world was. Slow, deliberate movements. striking deep into the soul. After a long, long time. And, Chapter 55. Lynn Ran, you did that thing again. Luo Yao nodded. Lynn Ran was shocked by Luo Yao's behavior. Yet a sense of satisfaction screamed wildly within him. Because only this way can I feel that you truly belong to me. All right, as long as you're happy. Aaron, do you like children? Lynn Ran, no. But if they were with you, then I'd like them. Luo Yao, then if we had a child, would they take away some of your love from me? Lynn Ran fell silent for a moment before saying seriously, I can't answer that for you, but my love for you will only grow more and more in the future. Luo Yao also fell silent for a while before her expression returned to normal. She had made up her mind. No children, at least not now, because a child would divert Aaron's love. The two of them quietly watched the stars. Lynn Ran suddenly seemed to remember something. Do you know where the black cat in our manor is? Luo Yao, not sure. It might be a stray cat from somewhere. Lynn Ran thought Luo Yao knew, but unexpectedly, she wasn't clear either. He wondered if he'd ever get a chance to see the black cat again. He always felt there was something off about that black cat. It could not only curse but also laugh at people and even give warnings. It had an air of mystery. The next day, Lynn Ran finally went to school, planning to make a brief appearance. A luxurious Rolls-Royce slowly drove into the school, taking Lynn Ran all the way to his destination. When Lynn Ran appeared in the classroom, all eyes were on him. Lynn Ran found a seat for himself. Soon after, Wu Zhishang arrived. Wu Zhishang was also very happy to see Lynn Ran. After all, Lynn Ran had given him a Ferrari LaFerrari. However, he wasn't a high-profile person and didn't drive the car on a campus, instead parking it at his home. Following Lynn Ran's instructions to keep a low profile about wealth, he hadn't told his girlfriend either. Today, Lynn Ran was here to help Wu Zhishang solve a small problem and also to check on the school. Last time Wu Zhishang drove the car home, his parents were shocked. Wu Zhishang had to explain for a long time, but his parents still seemed unconvinced. So, Wu Zhishang planned to ask Lynn Ran to go back with him and help explain. Otherwise, his parents would keep thinking Wu Zhishang was involved in something bad. It was originally set for the weekend, but Lynn Ran's request was rejected by Luo Yao. Spending a perfectly good weekend at a friend's house instead of with his wife? Luo Yao not killing Wu Zhishang was already quite merciful. The guidance counselor also knew Lynn Ran was back at school, but didn't trouble him. Perhaps the principal had instructed him. The school was supposed to support student entrepreneurship. The professor's class, without Lu Rushue, was quite harmonious. After class, many students asked Lynn Ran what he had been up to recently. Lynn Ran just replied that they would find out in a few days. After classes in the afternoon, Lynn Ran went with Wu Zhishang to his home. Wu Zhishang was also a local, but his home was quite far from the school, over an hour's drive. The Wu family was an ordinary family, and their home was average, but Lynn Ran didn't show any disdain. Arriving at the Wu family home, Wu's father and mother warmly welcomed Lynn Ran. Lynn Ran had known Wu's parents since he was young, so they weren't strangers. It wasn't until Lynn Ran explained the whole story that the elderly couple somewhat believed it. Wu's mother looked worried. Mom, didn't Brother Lynn already explain? Why do you still look like that? Wu's mother. Of course, I believe little Lynn, but you said little Lynn got married. I still can't believe it. From what you're saying, that woman is very rich. Could she just be toying with little Lynn's feelings? Lynn Ran was touched. In this realistic society, people who genuinely care about you are sometimes very few. Even his own family hadn't given Lynn Ran this feeling, but today he experienced it at the Wu family's home. Uncle, Auntie, please don't worry. My wife and I didn't just meet. We love each other. It's not as complicated as you imagine. Hearing Lynn Ran say this, Wu's father and mother were relieved and gave Lynn Ran a red envelope, which Lynn Ran didn't refuse. Lynn Ran and Wu Zhishang exchanged a look, then talked about their partnership in starting a company, which was already showing some progress, and was about to collaborate with the school. The elderly couple listened with smiles on their faces. Finally, Lynn Ran suggested Wu's father resign from his job, but Wu's father was still hesitant. Some things couldn't be said directly, so Lynn Ran could only tell Wu's father to be careful. Wu's father was not a foolish person and immediately realized Lynn Ran's words had a hidden meaning. Little Ran, do you know something? Lynn Ran couldn't say it explicitly. In fact, he wasn't particularly clear about the specifics, only that something was happening. After thinking for a moment, he gave Wu's father a few suggestions. Seeing Lynn Ran's serious demeanor, Wu's father also became serious and finally agreed with Lynn Ran's opinion. Lynn Ran was about to leave, and the elderly couple insisted on him staying for dinner. But Lynn Ran left, using the excuse of company matters. Wu's father. This child, why is he in such a hurry? Wu's mother. What would an old, straight-laced man like you understand? He's in a hurry to go home to his wife, of course. On the way back to school, Wu Zhishang looked puzzled. Brother Lin, why did you say those things to my dad? Do you know something? Lynn Ran, do you trust me? Wu Zhishang immediately patted his chest and said, Of course, I trust you, bro. Lynn Ran, then you should often remind your dad to pay attention to what I said, and it would be best if he could resign directly. I could find him a better job then. Wu Zhishang, okay. The Rolls-Royce pulled up directly to the dormitory building, and countless people craned their necks to look. Wu Zhishang went upstairs. Just then, the people Lynn Ran least wanted to see arrived. Lu Rushue and Hua Haney blocked Lynn Ran's car door. Lu Rushue's eyes were red-rimmed, while Hua Haney appeared outwardly indignant, but who knew what she was thinking inside. Lu Rushue, brother Lynn Ran, you're finally at school. Lynn Ran, get lost. Last time, he was injured because of Lu Rushue, and he still hadn't fully recovered. Now she was here again. Wang Bao and the driver both got out of the car. Their first sight of Lu Rushue set off alarm bells. Last time, it was his reporting error that led to Lynn Ran's injury. If Lynn Ran hadn't pleaded for him, he would likely be dead or crippled. This time, he was determined to protect Lynn Ran. Lynn Ran gave a subtle glance, and Wang Bao stopped in his tracks. Lu Rushue, brother Lynn Ran, today someone asked me for money, saying I owe him $1 million. I wanted to find you, but I couldn't. Lynn Ran nodded. That's right. I've already transferred the debt. Lu Rushue couldn't believe this was true. Why? Why are you doing this to me? Do you know how terrifying that person is? It's like he'll kill me if I don't give him the money. Lynn Ran found it amusing, but continued to be merciless with his words. Lu Rushue, you should pay the money. And don't come looking for me again. Whether you live or die has nothing to do with me. And I'll tell you, I'd rather see you get played to death. Lu Rushue stepped back, tears streaming down her face like broken pearl strings, her pitiful crying making countless junior male students feel indignant. So what if you're rich? Can you hurt such a cute and beautiful senior just because you're rich? They couldn't hear the conversation between Lu Rushue and Lynn Ran, but they could see their actions. From a visual perspective, Lynn Ran indeed looked like a scumbag bullying a woman. Chapter 56. Hua Haney. Yes, Rushue, since you're the one who damaged the car, you should indeed compensate. Brother Lynn Ran is determined to make you pay. Even if you go to court, you won't win. You should find a way to get the money. After speaking, she quietly glanced at Lynn Ran, her eyes full of suggestion. Lu Rushue looked shocked, and even Lynn Ran was taken aback by Hua Haney's words. Who was Hua Haney? She had always looked down on Lynn Ran, always either taunting him sarcastically or cursing him outright. This time, she was actually speaking up for Lynn Ran. Could you believe it? However, Lynn Ran didn't care what she was thinking. Lynn Ran just wanted to find an opportunity to completely destroy Lu Rushue. Brother Dao had already started collecting the debt. If Lu Rushue couldn't produce the money, she was in for a very difficult time. You don't want to pay? Then don't. By then, the interest will probably accumulate more and more. When you can't bear it anymore, let's see how arrogant you can be. Lu Rushue's tears fell like rain. Brother Lynn Ran, I know you're still angry. I was wrong, okay? Don't let $1,000,000 ruin our relationship. I still love you. Lynn Ran was thoroughly shocked by Lu Rushue's words, rendered speechless. Lu Rushue, what makes you think you're worth $1 million? In my eyes, you're not even worth 100. Don't come looking for me again, and especially don't say the word love. It disgusts me. Saying this, he ignored Lu Rushue and got into the car. Lu Rushue was blocked by Wang Bao and shouted from behind, I know you're still angry. It's okay if you don't forgive me. You pursued me for so many years, so naturally, I can too. Also, even if you don't want to talk to me for now, you should go home and see Uncle and Annie. They miss you very much. Lynn Ran was startled. He really didn't want Lu Rushue constantly appearing before him. Are you f***ing done? What does the Lin family have to do with me? If you come looking for me again, I'll have someone beat you until you see stars day and night. Damn it, such bad luck. Lynn Ran was indeed unlucky. How did he get entangled with Lu Rushue? Wasn't this just going to make Luo Yao angry? The vehicle slowly started to move. Lu Rushue still wanted to grab Lynn Ran. The driver unhesitatingly closed the window, and Lu Rushue was thrown to the ground by the car's momentum. Hua Haney helped Lu Rushue up. Rushue, let's go back. Lu Rushue, why did you say that just now? Hua Haney. Rushue, I can see it now. Lynn Ran really doesn't care about you anymore. Lu Rushue, but didn't you say last time that he was playing hard to get? Hua Haney shook her head. I was indeed mistaken last time. Now I'm sure he has given up on you. So, Rushue, don't be so stubborn. The Lynn Ran now is no longer your devoted admirer. Lu Rushue cried, her cries heart-wrenching. But I realize I've fallen in love with him. What should I do? I want to be with him. It's really not for his money. I just want to salvage our relationship. Huahani looked disdainful. When he had no money, you despised him for being poor and kept him hanging. Now that he's rich, you say you love him and claim it's not for the money. Then what is it for? For love? Lynn Ran didn't notice that in the girls' dormitory at this moment, someone was silently watching him, her eyes full of determination. Lynn Ran didn't go back to the manor, but went directly to the company. Since he was out, he decided to check on things and then pick up Luo Yao from work. Arriving at the company, Zhang Xiaolong was doing his fourth live stream of the day. After getting out of the police station, Zhang Xiaolong was incredibly grateful to Lynn Ran and now only thought about repaying Lynn Ran with his efforts. So he worked desperately, doubling his live streams from 3 a day to the current rate. His fan base was also growing steadily. Lynn Ran said he didn't need to work so hard. Effort is part of the process of success, but not the only way. What Zhang Xiaolong needed next was an opportunity, and this opportunity was now in his own hands, so Lynn Ran just needed to wait. As for Zhang Xiaolong's parents, one was under investigation, awaiting imprisonment. The other had already been sent to a drug rehabilitation center, awaiting torment. Boss Wang was also awaiting trial for human trafficking. Lynn Ran was absolutely confident in Su Kai's handling of matters. There wasn't much going on at the company, so Lynn Ran took a casual look around and planned to leave. When the elevator opened, he happened to run into Zhang Xiaowan, who was visiting Zhang Xiaolong. Due to long-term malnutrition, Zhang Xiaowan was very thin, and her family situation had made her somewhat introverted. The first time she saw Lynn Ran, she shied away, not daring to look him in the eye, but still timidly said, "Hello, senior." Lynn Ran walked into the elevator, turned back, smiled, and said, "Hello. Are you here to see your brother?" "Go ahead, you have a good brother." Zhang Xiaowan nodded. "Yes, my brother was indeed my only hope in the past. I love him very much." After speaking, she looked up and found the elevator doors had already closed. Zhang Xiaowan stood still for a moment, then slowly said, "Thank you, Senior Lynn Ran. You are also my hope." At the Luo Group office building, Lynn Ran walked into the lobby, and a security guard approached him. "Sir, are you here to see President Luo?" Lynn Ran immediately recognized him as the rather responsible security guard from before and nodded at him with a smile. Lynn Ran entered his fingerprint, and the security guard diligently pressed the elevator button for him. Arriving on the 88th floor, all the assistants were frequently peeking out from the corridor. They had worked continuously at the manor for several days, and all recognized Lynn Ran. Although they hadn't spoken, they all knew Lynn Ran was their President Luo's man. They just didn't know if he was her boyfriend or a kept pretty boy. At this moment, Luo Yao was on the phone in her office. Hearing a knock, she said, "Come in," and saw Lynn Ran walk in. Luo Yao's eyes lit up with surprise. Without even hanging up the phone, she threw herself into Lynn Ran's arms. "Why are you here?" "To pick up my wife from work, of course." Luo Yao smiled and nodded. "Okay, then wait for me a moment." Then she picked up the phone again, gave a few instructions, and hung up. Snuggling back into Lynn Ran's arms, Luo Yao was filled with happiness. "Aaron, it's still early. How about we play the boss and secretary game for a while?" Lynn Ran looked at Luo Yao dotingly and said, "Are you just insatiable? You want to do that as soon as you see me? Don't you know I'm still a patient?" Luo Yao said aggrievedly, "But yesterday in the garden, your actions didn't look like those of a patient at all." "Aaron, hubby, please, pretty please." Lynn Ran looked at Luo Yao in shock. When did this little devil become so good at acting cute? All right, fine, I promise you." Luo Yao gave Lynn Ran a pair of bracelets. "Lynn Ran, are you trying to turn the tables on me?" Just as Lynn Ran and Luo Yao were role-playing, lawyer Su Kai, on behalf of Lynn Ran, convened a shareholder meeting of the Su Ran Group. Chairman Lin Tianba attended, despite being ill. He had no choice. Even if Lin Tianba wanted to avoid it, he couldn't, and hiding would have been pointless. At the meeting, Su Kai, as the representative of the largest shareholder, announced the sale of 30% of Su Ran Company's shares. Lin Tianba immediately voted against it. During the meeting, Lin Tianba cursed Lin Ran as an unfilial son, saying it was a family matter and shouldn't be discussed at a shareholder meeting. Su Kai immediately presented documents showing Lin Ran had severed ties with Lin Tianba, shocking all the shareholders. Subsequently, the meeting became completely one-sided. Businessmen are profit-driven. These shareholders were veterans of the business world. Even with Lin Tianba's opposing vote, no one cared. Everyone else voted in favor of the sale. The final result was that all shareholders except Lynn Tianba approved. Lynn Ran's shares officially entered the sale period at a market price of $800 million, open for bidding by interested parties, giving Lynn Tianba no breathing room. Many shareholders were eager, preparing to talk to Su Kai. Once they obtained Lynn Ran's shares, they wouldn't hesitate to kick Lynn Tianba out of the chairman's seat. Previously, the Lin father and son held 51% of the shares, so even if all other shareholders united, they couldn't gain control. Now that the Lin father and son had turned against each other, regardless of whether Lynn Ran's shares were successfully acquired, as long as a few more shareholders united, there was hope of ousting Lynn Tianba. Not to mention, if they acquired Lynn Ran's shares, their position would be even more secure. Everyone had been fed up with Lynn Tianba's tyranny for years. This was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. No shareholder knew why Lynn Tianba had fallen out with Lynn Ran. A son that was practically a god of wealth. If Lynn Ran were their son, they would eagerly worship him, giving him whatever he wanted. But Lynn Tianba had thoroughly fumbled a winning hand. What was he without his son? To put it bluntly, even this company belonged to his son. He was only chairman because of his son. Back when Lynn Ran's mother was alive, Lynn Tianba had nothing to do with the company. Did he? Lynn Tianba's current actions weren't just foolish, they were utterly idiotic. After the shareholder meeting, Su Kai left the Su Ran group, quietly waiting for the expected person to arrive. Sure enough, that very evening, Lynn Tianba contacted Su Kai for a meeting. In Su Kai's law firm, Lynn Tianba showed his sincerity. Mr. Su, I'll take Lynn Ran's shares, but $800 million is a bit much. We're father and son, so there should be a discount. I think $100 million sounds good. Su Kai almost spat out his tea. Although he already knew Lynn Tianba's character, he had still underestimated his shamelessness. Chairman Lin, you must be joking. Actually, Mr. Lin did say the shares could be given to you. After all, you were once his father. Lynn Tianba showed surprise. Are you serious? Su Kai nodded. It's true, but the price will be 20% more than for others, which is $1 billion. Lynn Tianba almost slid off his chair. How much? $1 billion? Why doesn't he just rob me? Su Kai, Mr. Lin said the price for others is $800 million, but for you, it must be 20% more. Lynn Tianba took a deep breath and asked, 20% more? Shouldn't that be $960 million? Su Kai, I didn't expect Chairman Lin's math to be so good. However, Mr. Lin said that for you, 20% means an extra $200 million. If you don't agree, you can give up the acquisition. Lynn Tianba was so angry he wanted to curse. If you want $1 billion, just say $1 billion. What's this about 20% being $200 million for him? Isn't this an insult? I don't have that much money. Even if I emptied all my savings, I wouldn't have that much. Su Kai, Mr. Lin already thought of a solution for you. You can take out a loan, using the Su Ran Group shares as collateral. Lynn Tianba frowned. I'm not qualified, and the shareholders wouldn't agree. Su Kai, with Mr. Lynn Ran's shares, you'll have 51%. You can just take the pre-acquisition agreement to get a loan. I have an old friend at the bank. I believe he'd be very willing to do this business. Lynn Tianba remained silent for a long time, hesitating to speak. He was already practically bankrupt and still owed brother Dao $100 million. If he took out another bank loan, even if it was approved, would he really be able to repay it? If there was even the slightest problem with the company's operations, wouldn't it be the last straw that broke the camel's back? Su Kai, Chairman Lin, often in life, many things require a gamble on luck. You don't want to lose your say in the Su Ran Group, do you? Lynn Tianba's gaze gradually firmed. Thinking about the company's upcoming moves, he gritted his teeth. All right, I agree. After saying this, he signed the pre-acquisition agreement with Su Kai, his hand trembling as he signed. These shares should have been his. He never expected to have to buy them back with real money, and at a premium at that. Acquiring them with a loan meant that after repayment, it wouldn't just be $1 billion. There would also be high interest. Lynn Ran, that little bastard, why couldn't he just transfer the shares unconditionally? Walking out of the law firm, Lynn Tianba felt as if he had aged 10 years. Early the next morning, bank representatives found Lynn Tianba. With the pre-acquisition agreement, Lynn Tianba mortgaged 51% of the shares for a loan. The bank ultimately approved a credit line of $800 million. Lynn Tianba took the bank's approval contract back to Su Kai, who stated that anything less than $1 billion was non-negotiable. Finally, with no other choice, Lynn Tianba returned to the Lin family home to hold another family meeting. Upon hearing this news, Louis Weme was completely dumbfounded, and even Lin Jian gasped in shock. Lynn Tianba, There's really no other way. But don't worry, our new property development is about to launch. There's news from above that the government plans to build a school near a new development. This will increase the unit price of our properties by at least 20%. This time, the company's capital return will be at least $1 billion. If I have 51% of the shares, the dividends could reach $500 million. So, as long as we get through this, even with some interest, we're guaranteed to profit. And when the formal sales of the properties begin, there will be at least that much more profit. But if we don't acquire the shares, regardless of whether Lynn Ranch shares are sold or not, we'll have to pay out a lot in dividends. Given that unfilial son's current relationship with the family, he definitely won't refuse the money. Therefore, we must acquire the shares. After the explanation, Louis Wemay finally understood why Lin Tianba was so insistent on acquiring Lynn Ranch shares. The thought of that little brat Lin Ran getting so much in dividends made both Louis Wemay and Lin Jian frown. Lin Tianba wasn't lying. The capital return this time would indeed reach that amount. This was also the Su Ran Group's largest and most important project to date. Honey, are you serious? Is there really no other way? For example, could we find Xiao Ran and get him to transfer the shares to us unconditionally? Lin Tianba shook his head. He won't even see us now? There's no other way. Let's raise the money. Lin Jian, but the bank can only give us a credit line of $800 million. Where are we going to get the remaining $200 million? Lin Tianba took a deep breath. Sell our real estate. Wemay, you also go back to your parents' home and ask if your family can help us out. Louis Wemay frowned and hesitated. Lin Tianba continued. As long as they're willing, no matter how much money they contribute, I'll give them 20% interest. That's even more profitable than loan sharking. Louis Wemay, I'll try. Honey, even if my family helps, they can't come up with too much money. What about the rest? Lin Tianba, sell the real estate. Don't I still have a car I haven't sold? And this villa, sell them all. We'll temporarily move somewhere else. Once the property pre-sales start, we can move back soon. Lin Jian, Dad, I've also saved some money over the years. It's not much, but it's a few $100,000. I'll give it all to you. Lin Tianba was moved to tears. You're truly my good son. Once we get through this, Dad will repay you tenfold, 100-fold. And the Su Ran Group will be yours to inherit then. Both Lin Jian and Liu Yuemay's eyes lit up. After so many years, they had finally succeeded. Lin Jian, and brother, he's also your son? Lin Tianba, don't mention that unfilial son. If he were still like before, I might have let him inherit 1% of the shares, enough to ensure he's well provided for. Now, not a single cent. Lin Jian, Dad, thank you. We are a loving and harmonious family. Lin Tianba hugged his wife with one arm and his son with the other. True feelings are revealed through trials and tribulations. After this storm passes, our family's bond will be even stronger. Having received Lin Tianba's assurance, the mother and son were very happy. Louis Wemay called Lin Jian aside privately. Xiao Jian, take out that card. This time, we must help your father. Lin Jian said with some hesitation, but Louis Wemay, no buts. This is the most critical moment. If we take it out now, your dad will trust us even more. Maybe after this storm passes, you'll inherit the company, and then you'll be the chairman. Lin Jian nodded. All right. Louis Wemay returned to her parents' home again. After she explained the situation, the Liu family was greatly shocked. Louis Wemay's mother was furious and berated Louis Wemay. You can't even handle that little bastard Lynn Ran, and now such a big mess has happened. All those things I taught you, did you even use them? Louis Wemay, I did. Lynn Ran used to be very obedient. He didn't show any signs of trouble all these years. I don't know why he suddenly changed recently. Mom, it's useless to talk about this now. Lynn Ran is determined to draw a clear line with the Lin family. We have to come up with this money. Louis Wemay's mother said angrily. No money. Louis Wemay's father also looked disappointed. Only Liu Ritian frowned without speaking. Louis Wemay wasn't angry. Instead, she said proudly, anyway, Lin Tianba said that if you help him this time, he'll give you at least 15% interest. Plus, the new property is about to pre-sale, with an expected capital return of $1 billion. The opportunity has been given to you. If you don't have the money, then forget it. I won't force you. I've also saved some money over the years, and I plan to give it all to Lin Tianba to get through this crisis. I'll only gain more in the end. Once I have money, don't come crying to me about being poor. I've secretly helped the family so much over the years. The house you live in, the food you eat, what haven't I helped you with? Even Rushiue's school enrollment spot was exchanged for Lin Tianba donating a dormitory building. In the future, don't come to me for help. When my son inherits the Su Ran Group, he won't help you either. After saying this, Lu Yuemei was about to leave. Her parents were shocked. What did you say? Xiao Jian is going to inherit the Su Ran group. Lu Yuemei. Does it have anything to do with you? You're unwilling to help my son and me, so we can only rely on ourselves. Lu Ritian immediately stopped Lu Yuemei. Sister, what nonsense are you talking about? When did we say we wouldn't help you and Xiao Jian? Her parents quickly chimed in. Exactly. How come we're getting more hot-tempered as you get older? We were just too anxious. 15% interest, right? We'll take that money. Lu Rushue had been silent all along, lost in thought. The Lu family managed to scrape together over 3 million and gave it all to Lu Yuemei. Although Lu Yuemei felt disdainful inwardly, she still said thank you and left with all of the Lu family savings. After Lu Yuemei left, Lu Ritian looked at Lu Rushue. Rushue, after Lynn Ran sells his shares, you must win him over. Make him use that money as a bride price to marry you. 1 billion was enough to make the Lu family truly wealthy. Lu Rushue wanted to say something, but held it back. She nodded and said, I know. 1 billion. For 1 billion, Lu Rushue had to continue pursuing Lynn Ran. Lu Ritian also lamented. If we had known it would turn out like this, we should have treated Lynn Ran better back then. Maybe the Su Ran Group shares would be ours now. Lu Ritian's father. It's all Lin Tianba's fault. After all these years, he never mentioned Lynn Ran actually had 30% of the shares. Really? Lu Ritian's mother. Rushue, my good granddaughter, whether our family can become billionaires depends on you. Lu Rushue sighed. Alas. But I feel like brother Lynn Ran doesn't like me anymore. Grandma Lu immediately flared up. What nonsense are you talking? He's not the Lynn Ran of the past anymore. He's about to have 1 billion. You must secure him. It's not that I'm criticizing you, but as a girl, there are so many methods you can use. That little bastard Lynn Ran, you just have to beckon, and he'll be head over heels for you. Lu Rushue didn't dare to refute. For love, she had to pursue Lynn Ran actively. She absolutely couldn't let someone else benefit. After making up her mind, Lu Rushue felt her fighting spirit rekindled. After Lu Yuemei returned to the Lin family home, she took out a full 55 million and gave it to Lin Tianba. Lin Tianba was also shocked. After all these years, he never knew the Lu family had so much money, and all in cash. Lu Yuemei explained that the Lu family had been making some investments and had earned quite a bit. Although Lin Tianba was suspicious, he didn't dwell on it too much. As long as the money was there, how it came didn't matter. Seeing Lin Tianba accept the money, Lu Yuemei and Lin Jian were both happy, looking forward to their future lives. The mother and son felt they had finally made it through their struggles. Lin Tianba moved quickly. The villa was dealt with on the same day, and the next day he sold off his cars. He then borrowed a bit more from some business friends, finally scraping together 200 million. Then, he found Su Kai again and transferred the 200 million. As for the remaining 800 million, the bank transferred it directly to Lynn Ran. This was because it was an equity acquisition loan, and the money had to go to Lynn Ran, just like a housing loan goes to the developer. Lin Tianba couldn't do anything about it. He had finally acquired Lynn Ran's 30% stake. With that, the dust had settled, and Lynn Ran no longer had any connection to the Lin family. Lin Tianba moved his entire family into a company storeroom for temporary lodging. The nannies and maids were all dismissed. The luxury cars and mansion were gone. Their external debts, plus the previous 100 million to Brother Dao, amounted to nearly 1 billion. In exchange, they got 51% of the company's shares. Although things were tough now, the entire Lin family was joyful and harmonious because the Lin family now represented the entire Su Ran group. This joy far outweighed their temporary downfall. The Su Ran group was named after Lin Ran's mother's surname, combined with Lin Ran's name. If Lin Tianba hadn't been worried that changing the name would affect the sales of their new property developments, he would have changed it immediately. Another day passed. The Lin family members, back to their routines, were busy with their own affairs. Lin Ran also received the full 1 billion in funds. Without a word, he immediately established a real estate company, though it was just a shell company for now. Next, he was going to ensure the entire Lin family would never recover. Lin Ran started attending classes at school again today. It was too boring without Luo Yao around. If he didn't go to class, he had nowhere else to go, and the company didn't need him for the time being. After class, just as Lin Ran was about to return to his manor, he ran into Lin Jian. Lin Jian was currently riding a wave of success, his whole person radiating confidence. Wu Zhishang had long known about Lin Ran's severing ties with the Lin family. He felt deeply indignant for his brother because of what the Lin family had done. Therefore, Wu Zhishang didn't give Lin Jian a pleasant look and hated the Lin family to the bone. Previously, he only thought Lynn Ran was disliked by the Lin family. Only recently did he realize it was practically abuse plus cold violence plus PUA. Lynn Ran, a good dog doesn't block the way. Wu Zhishang, and a good pig doesn't cause trouble. Lin Jian, brother, what's wrong with you? Why are you talking to me like this? I'm your younger brother. Lin Ran sneered. Then go tell everyone in school that you're my brother, and while you're at it, tell them how I was treated in the Lin family. Of course, Lin Jian didn't dare. Everyone knew he was the young master of the Lin family. If others found out he had a brother like Lin Ran, wouldn't that be a slap in his own face? More importantly, he played the role of a wealthy young master, living in luxury every day, while his own brother worked part-time jobs, living a life worse than a dog. Where would the Lin family's reputation be then? Brother, it's all my fault. I was wrong. I shouldn't have called you brother at school and annoyed you, nor should I have appeared before you. It's just that Dad misses you and wants you to come back to the Lin family when you have time. As long as you're willing to kneel, kowtow, and apologize to Dad and return the money you got from selling your shares to him, Dad will definitely forgive you. This again? Lin Ran, say that one more time, and I'll beat you until you see stars day and night. Lin Jian stepped back in fear, but a cunning glint flashed in his eyes. If you have the guts, make a move, and then we'll let the school handle it. I was wrong, brother. It's just that on the first day of school, you did something disgraceful to the family's reputation at the school gate. Dad is very angry. He asked me to find out your relationship with that woman. If possible, I'd like to visit that woman on Dad's behalf, to seek justice for you. Lin Ran narrowed his eyes. In his previous life, after Lin Jian accidentally met Luo Yao, he was eager to find her. Naturally, Lin Ran wouldn't let Lin Jian take that risk because at that time, Lin Ran wanted to protect his younger brother. Now it seemed something was off. Could it be that this kid liked Luo Yao? That would make everything very interesting. Should he arrange for them to meet? And then let Luo Yao teach Lin Jian a lesson he'd never forget? Forget it. I can't discuss my wife, even if it means disgusting someone else. To think that in his past life, when Luo Yao wanted to slaughter his family, he had pleaded desperately and even agreed to some conditions from Luo Yao that were initially shameful for him to accept. Damn it, I was such an idiot. Lin Ran. Lin Jian dropped the act. My affairs are none of your business. Lin Jian, but we're family. We share the same father. I'm your biological younger brother. Lin Ran, is that so? Then I won't hold back. Lin Jian thought Lin Ran had agreed and looked pleasantly surprised. Who knew that the next moment, Lin Ran's fist would greet him? Didn't I tell you? If you mention being family with me again, I'll beat you until you see stars day and night. Seeing this, Wu Zhishang joined in without a second word, delivering a mixed doubles beating. Their actions attracted a group of students from the classroom, who looked over. They hadn't heard the conversation and now had puzzled expressions. Wu Zhishang shouted, Lin Jian from the art department is here to stir up trouble. He said everyone in our finance department is trash. Brothers, get him. Immediately, the entire large classroom erupted into a group kicking session. Lin Jian was beaten unconscious. Afterwards, the students offered to share the responsibility, but Lin Ran forcefully stopped them, taking it all upon himself. He didn't want to air his family's dirty laundry in public, mainly because the time wasn't right yet. He wanted to deliver a fatal blow to Lin Jian when he was at his most triumphant. And that time was not far off. After receiving a call from the school, Lin Tianba and Lu Yuanmei rushed over. This was outrageous. Someone actually dared to hit his son. Just 10 minutes earlier, Luo Yao had received a call. Wifey, I got into a fight. How are you? Are you hurt? Luo Yao instantly tensed up. She had hurt Lin Ran before, but no one else was allowed to harm him in any way. Lin Ran, my hand hurts a bit from hitting him. Could you help me take care of it? The school wants to call my parents, and I only have you. The words, I only have you, struck Luo Yao's heart. She said, okay. Soon after, Luo Yao was the first to arrive at the principal's office. This wasn't a small incident, after all, with so many people beating up one person. As soon as she entered the office, the principal jumped up in fright. President Luo, why have you come in person? Principal Tang, how much in scholarships does my Luo Corporation donate each year? How many buildings in this school were built by my people? And how many research teams were brought in by me? Principal Tang was a bit confused. Seeing Luo Yao's face, fearsome with anger, cold sweat dripped down his entire body. This was not someone he could afford to offend. Even if the head of the Education Bureau were here, he would have to bow and scrape. President Luo, please just tell me what you need. If I, Old Tang, have done anything wrong, I am willing to apologize to you with my entire staff. Luo Yao said resentfully. I've done so much, only for you to stand by and watch others bully my husband at school? Author's note. It'll be out sooner or later. For the readers who've added this to their bookshelf, I will never stop updating. Please read with peace of mind. Principal Tang was so scared, he practically jumped 3 feet in the air. It was truly a strain on his 60-something-year-old body. You, what did you say? Luo Yao, unable to contain her anger, declared, My husband was beaten up at school. If he's injured, you could just shut down this school. Principal Tang finally confirmed he hadn't misheard and nervously asked, When did your husband enroll in our school? Luo Yao slammed the table. He was already a student at this school. Principal Tang was stunned. Having lived for over 60 years, the world had finally twisted into something he couldn't believe. Then where is your husband now? Luo Yao, the dean's office. If you dare to give my husband a hard time, I don't mind replacing the principal to handle it. Principal Tang immediately apologized. No, we'll go handle this right away. In the dean's office, the dean looked at Lynn Ran and Lin Jian with a developing headache. Lynn Ran was an outstanding student, well known on campus, and many people liked him very much. Lin Jian was the young master of the Su Ran group, whom he also didn't dare to offend. He was truly in a difficult position. Just then, a commotion was heard from outside the door. Where's that unfilial son? How dare he hit Xiao Jian? I'm going to whip him to death. Honey, calm down. Xiao Ren definitely didn't do it on purpose. If he's willing to kneel, kowtow, and apologize, don't hit him too hard. The people hadn't arrived, but their nauseating words did. Lynn Ran made a gagging expression. The office door was kicked open. Immediately, Lin Tianba's stern face and Lu Yuamei's look of disappointment, as if he was a son who failed to live up to expectations, were revealed. As soon as the two entered, they saw Lin Ran looking like he was gloating. Lu Yuamei frowned. Xiao Ran, where's your younger brother? No matter what, you can't hit him. It's all my fault as a mother for not taking good care of you brothers. Lin Ran, shut up. If murder wasn't illegal,